Welcome to your Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay. We're joining you from the concourse of Al Lang Stadium in downtown St. Petersburg, getting ready to open the 2017 USL season. Tonight, the I-4 Derby returns to St. Pete as the Rowdies host Orlando City B in a sold-out match here at Al Lang Stadium. I'm your host, Heather Donnelly, and joining me here at the desk is color commentator Lee Godfrey. We'll also check in with play-by-play announcer Mike Pepper a little bit later in the show. It's going to be a big night tonight. You ready to kick this one off?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a long preseason with the Florida Cup, the Suncoast Invitational, and now the first game is finally here. The fans have been waiting for this all off-season. The atmosphere here is electric, so it's going to be a great night here at Al Lang Stadium.
Yeah, and it's a new league, and there are 11 new players. Those are just a few of the changes that took place this offseason.
Yeah, there was. You take a look at this. We moved from the North American Soccer League to USL. 11 new players signed, 11 returning players, a bit of a smaller roster, 22 for the Rowdies this year. And, of course, the big push, hashtag MLS to St. Pete.
And now let's take a look at tonight's injury report. There are a couple key players unavailable for the Rowdies in tonight's match.
Yeah, there is, and a good thing for some of the signings this season by the Rowdies to pick up the slack. Matt Pickens with a neck injury. Deshaun Brown, the new Jamaican striker up top, has a head injury. And Darwin Jones in the midfield has a hamstring injury. So those three are out tonight for the Rowdies.
Now let's check in with play-by-play announcer Mike Pepper, who's standing by with Rowdies head coach Stuart Campbell. Mike?
Coach, an extended preseason has certainly given your guys a little bit longer to get ready for the regular season opener, which is tonight. And that might be a good thing, 11 new faces. How has the preseason gone for the team as far as getting ready for a night like tonight?
Yeah, it's gone really well. As you said, it's been a long preseason, and like I said, it's probably the least enjoyable time of the year for the players because they have to work extremely hard. The workload's really heavy on the guys, a lot more than in the regular season. So I'm delighted that the regular season's here, as I'm sure the players are.
And when you look at an Orlando City, the I-4 drive for these teams, a nice rivalry for a lot of the fans. But for you, it's even a bit more of a challenge because this is a team whose parent team doesn't have a game, so they might have a few extra faces. I don't know how that hurts the preparation or helps it.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit tougher to scout and do a scouting report on them. And yeah, like I said, we believe they've probably got sort of 7 MLS players that they're going to drop down. So that's going to make it a real tough game for us tonight, and it's one that we're really ready for.
And this crowd tonight, expecting a sellout here at Al Lang Stadium. They've got to be a big part to help the team tonight.
Yeah, as I've said on numerous occasions, the Rowdy fans, they're absolutely brilliant. They get behind the team from start to finish. They create a cracking atmosphere, and I'm sure they'll do exactly the same tonight.
Coach, best of luck tonight, and we look forward to a great game.
Thank you.
Lee, Heather, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. Earlier in the week, we also caught up with some Rowdies players to get their thoughts on tonight's match. Let's hear from midfielder Leo Fernandez and one of the newest Rowdies, Marcel Schaefer.
Finally, I'm excited to get out here and play. It's been a really long preseason, but I think we're really excited to get the season started. I think we have a great group of guys, and we're ready to play. It's a great mix of guys. A lot of leadership, veterans, and then we got some great young guys that just want to learn. And I think, like I said before, I think we're ready, and we're definitely ready to show the fans that we're going to have a great season.
Yeah, I heard a lot about it, about the Rowdies fans, and I'm really excited. I can't wait for the game on Saturday. I think it's a main day in the week. That's why we work for. That's why we are a soccer player, to play games, and I'm really excited. I can't wait for Saturday.
It's the home opener. No matter who we play, we always want to win. But especially now that it's Orlando, it's a big game for us and it's a big game for the fans. So we really want to come out and have a good performance.
Well, preseason's over, like they said, and these guys are chomping at the bit to get out there on that field.
Yeah, and both those guys will be in the starting 11 tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing Marcel Schaefer in that holding midfield position. Brings so much experience from Germany. Although he only really trained this week, I think he's going to be able to step right into the Rowdies starting 11.
Well, we have to take our first break, but when we come back, we'll take a look inside Thursday night's season kickoff party. You're watching the Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay.
If you're new in town and working on your dreams and you don't know what you need, we got the perfect plan for you. My Blue, we are here for you, for you, for you. We're Florida Blue. Don't you worry now, 'cause you don't have to. Here we always say we got you. We are here for you. This is your home, Florida Blue.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
Welcome back to your Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay. What a beautiful night for a soccer match. We're here getting you all set for tonight's match as the Rowdies host Orlando City B. On Thursday night, the Rowdies held their annual season kickoff party just down the street at the Mahaffey Theater. Rowdies owner Bill Edwards shared his vision for the future of the team, and fans got to take a look at the new alternate kit for 2017. Here's a look inside the night's festivities.
It's great to get to meet everybody. First time really getting a chance to meet the fans. It's just fun to be around the fans. You know, you play for that group of people. They're the ones coming week in and week out to support you. It's their club, and being able to represent them on the field is a huge honor.
I think the new kit is fantastic. I really like it a lot. I think all three kits are great, and particularly the new strip, really nice. So yeah, looking forward to wearing it.
I'm in love with the white kit, you know. Should go good with the pair of white cleats that I have coming in.
I just bought the brand new jersey. You guys seen it yet? I'm sure you have, but definitely a big fan.
I really like it. The way it looks, everything about it.
Fantastic event, really well organised, and obviously the great crowd that we've got here tonight. So it's great for us to meet the fans, and everyone's so positive about the upcoming season, so it's been very good. I think this club's going in the right direction, and I think the MLS, the St. Pete, and some of the new signings, the stadium we've got, everyone's just so positive, and it's up to us to make them even more positive and happier by getting some good results. So yeah, it's a lot to look forward to.
Always a great event and a chance for the fans to chat a little bit with the players there and see the new kit. What do you think of the new alternate kit?
I think it looks fantastic. I love the look of it. It's just a classic looking kit, and they did a great job with it with the people at Nike. And I think that the big thing here is to say kudos to the fans that came out for a fan event to get upwards of 1,000 people before the kickoff of this new year. Is just speaks volumes about the support for this team moving forward. Looking forward to Major League Soccer as well. It's a great promotional bit for the Tampa Bay Rowdies as they're trying to get that Major League Soccer team.
Yeah, and they officially kicked off with the party on Thursday. Tonight, the season kicks off officially. So new season, new league, and there's new rules. Let's take a look at the USL playoff structure and how the league crowns its champion at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's really pretty easy with the two conferences, East and West. They meet 32 times, 8 teams from each conference, so 16 teams total. It really is similar to the National Basketball Association with the way that the bracket goes, all culminating with one team from the East and one team from the West meeting in the USL final.
Well, we have to step away, but don't go anywhere. There's a whole lot more Rowdies pregame show coming up right after the break here on This TV Tampa Bay.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxiClean.
Stains on t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxiClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxiClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxiClean in a detergent. One cap beats 4 of theirs. OxiClean gets the tough stains out.
The I-4 Derby has made its way back to St. Petersburg, and we are ready for the Rowdies to take on Orlando City in their season opener here tonight. The teams are out on the field getting warmed up, and the supporters have already filled the stands, and the excitement is just building here at Al Lang Stadium. I'm Heather Donnelly, this is Lee Godfrey, and you're watching the Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay. Well, it's a beautiful night for a soccer match tonight. There is a little bit of a breeze out of the east, and it's sunny and cool. I'm sure the players will be enjoying this late March weather before it gets too hot here in the west coast of Florida. It's 80 degrees, and it's going to be a great night for the season opener. Well, this year's Rowdies roster is full of big personalities, and it's always fun to learn what these guys are like off of the field. This week, we asked the team to tell us what they order when they go to the coffee shop. Take a look.
I'll have a black coffee with space for milk.
If it's hot out, I usually go with like an iced vanilla latte. If it's a little chilly, caramel macchiato, or just the straight black if I'm feeling dangerous.
Double espresso Of the mornings, it's my vice, coffee. I must admit, I do drink too much of it.
Black coffee. Americano. Keep it simple. Yeah, nice and strong.
Straight black coffee, or if I'm really feeling it, then I'll go like a hazelnut latte.
Coffee shop, I usually get a chai tea latte.
Honestly, I switch it up every time. I try to get like one of those ones with a little cream, like looking at the top, get a little shape in there or something. Maybe a cafe con leche, because I'm a little bit Cuban.
Usually a latte with almond milk.
It depends what coffee shop.
I like to try different coffee.
Ooh, I don't like coffee at all, so hot chocolate all the time.
I really don't drink coffee. I drink espresso shots, that's it.
See, that's interesting. I don't drink coffee.
Do you know that only 2 months ago I had my first coffee in my life? I'm branching out. You know, the States is bringing the best out in me.
Neil Collins living on the edge. Living in the States has changed him. His first coffee ever 2 months ago. Are you a coffee guy?
Yeah, I am. At home, it's just normally a regular thing, but if I go out, my wife always makes fun of me on this one, that it's a mochaccino with whipped cream on the top.
Oh,
absolutely
fancy.
love the hot chocolate in there, too.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm a chai tea latte kind of girl. I think Darnell King liked that as well. Well, for more features and interviews like the one you just saw, be sure to follow the Rowdies on social media. There's Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Follow them all so you don't miss out on any Rowdies news throughout the week. Check out rowdysoccer.com for more information so you can find out how to follow on each of those social media platforms. Well, we're just around the corner from kickoff, so when we come back, we'll wrap up our Rowdies pregame show and preview tonight's match against Orlando City B.
got the sun, we got today, we got the sun, jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in, it's just you and me, in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
The fight for the championship continues April 1st at 7:30. Get rowdy at Al Lang with 90 minutes of manic excitement as the Rowdies take on Toronto FC2. Toronto, bring your A game because you're going to need it. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. Tickets start at just $11 and you can meet the players after every game. Toronto, bring your A game because the Rowdies are going to kick your Come on, you.
Back to Al Lang Stadium in downtown St. Petersburg. The Rowdies in Orlando City B are gearing up to face off on opening night of the 2017 USL season. Earlier tonight, Mike Pepper caught up with Orlando City B head coach Anthony Pulis. Let's hear what he has to say heading into tonight's match.
Coach, the season getting started tonight, and it's quite a rivalry right down the I-4 drive. You got to be expecting things here, obviously, in the USL. You've got a team here. You're going to have some players on your team tonight that are get a chance to play with the MLS team. But it's a nice combination of going against the Tampa team. What have you seen in this Tampa team?
Yeah, they're a strong outfit. I mean, we've been lucky enough to watch them in pre-season. They've probably, on paper, got the best roster in USL. So we're under no illusions at all. It's just going to be a very tough game for us tonight.
And for you tonight, I mentioned you got some extra players that may not be playing all the time for you on the year, but how do they kind of intermix into what you're trying to build for the year?
Yeah, that's part and parcel of this team. That's the dynamic we have, that we have an ever-changing roster. It's difficult to get continuity, so when players come across, all we ask of them is that they give their best and join in with the group as we would expect everybody else to.
And, of course, as I mentioned, just down I-4, and with your MLS team having an off night, you're going to get a chance to have a great supporter crowd. And Orlando City, known for their supporters, you've got to be excited about what they may help to bring your team here on this season opener.
Of course, it's fantastic that so many guys are going to make the journey down tonight and support the players. And the players have been made aware of how important this game is to the supporters.
Good luck tonight, Coach, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Lee, Heather, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. Now it's time to scout the opponent and take a closer look at Orlando City B.
Well, this is an interesting time for Orlando City B because into their second year in United Soccer League, they did make the playoffs last year. They did get beat out by the New York Red Bulls, too, who went on to win the championship. And there you see that the MLS team has a bye this weekend, and you heard Anthony Poulos talk about the dynamic of this team, and that could lead to a double-edged sword with the team, because the team that he's had for preseason isn't necessarily the team he's going to see tonight, because the MLS team has brought down 9 players from Major League Soccer, so they're just not used to playing with each other. So although they might be some more talented players coming down tonight from Major League Soccer, they just haven't played with these other guys. So it really is an interesting dynamic that this team have, because their priority really is the Major League Soccer team going out week in and week out, and he's just trying to do their best to develop that talent.
And you heard both coaches talk about it in tonight's show, this rivalry. Even though technically the Rowdies have never played Orlando City B, this version of the club, there's a historic rivalry between the fan bases, at least. You can hear the Orlando City B fans already chanting and cheering. How much is that rivalry going to play into tonight's match?
Oh, it's huge, and I don't think that the fans forget about the times that they have played in the past. They have met in the earlier league of the United Soccer League, and as well in U.S. Open Cup. I believe that Orlando City beat the Rowdies 4-1 at the last time that they met in the Open Cup system. So those just don't get forgotten, and I know that the fans of the Rowdies are going to be looking forward to going back to Orlando when they play there as well. So this rivalry just doesn't go away. The fact that they've had to separate the fans tonight as well, a separate section for Orlando City, just shows the passion and the rivalry, and you're going to hear that tonight.
Well, now let's take a look at a key player to watch from each team in tonight's game.
All right, for Orlando City B, it is Michael Cox, the Calgary, Alberta, Canada native, tallied 11 goals last year for OCB. He spent 3 years with FC Edmonton from 2010 to 2013, scoring 9 goals in 51 appearances. In 2015, he led the York University Lion National Championship, scoring 4 goals in the tournament and was named MVP. He signed with OCB in January of 2016, and in a preseason match against USF, he scored a hat trick in just 35 minutes. Joe Cole, of course, with the Rowdies, the 3-time Premier League champion with Chelsea and 3-time World Cup participant with England, made an immediate impact in joining the Rowdies in May, scoring 9 goals and adding 7 assists. The vet led the Rowdies in the midfield with his leadership, vision, and passion. It told me yesterday in typical English fashion that he was chomping at the bit to get this season underway, and what a better way to get this season started than against Orlando City B tonight.
Well, I'm sure both of those guys are anxious to get out on the field, and both of them will be hoping to score some goals tonight. It's going to be a huge crowd here at Al Lang Stadium with those added seats for the Orlando City B supporter section and a sold-out Al Lang Stadium. This one's going to be huge. It could be one of the biggest crowds of all time at Al Lang Stadium.
Yeah, it is, and this is going to be a massive game as well for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. When you look at the amount of home games they have over the first 7 weeks, they do not want to start falling behind. They want to be able to get the full 3 points at home. You heard Anthony Poulos say on paper, this is one of the best teams in the league. They have to go out and they have to show that. They have to get the results. They have to put the ball in the back of the net and enforce their dominance Rowdies here at home take advantage of that big home field crowd tonight and be able to pull out the 3 points. That was their Achilles heel last year. Too many draws at home and losing out on points. They have to take the full 3 tonight.
Well, it's going to be a big one. I'm excited. Kickoff is just around the corner. So that wraps up tonight's pregame show here on the concourse at Al Lang Stadium. For Lee Godfrey, Mike Pepper, and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Heather Donnelly. Thank you for joining us. Rowdies versus Orlando City B is up next.
got the sun, we got today, we got the sun, jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in, it's just you and me, in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg. The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beers, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
Well, it's a beautiful evening here in downtown St. Petersburg. It's Al Lang Stadium as the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Orlando City B in a USL season opening matchup. Good evening, everyone. Mike Pepper alongside Lee Godfrey. And as the teams go out, I mean, we've got to look at these opponents. It's going to be a great matchup here. And well, let's get a look here for Michael Cox of Orlando City B. He is the Canadian international who led Orlando City B with 11 goals last year, was second on the team with 6 assists. He's a big playmaker for Orlando City, and they'll be looking on their striker to make a difference. And for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, well, actually, it's still, we'll have Michael Cox. So there it is, Joe Cole for the Rowdies. He's a 3-time Premier League winner with Chelsea and a 3-time World Cup participant for England who scored 9 goals with 7 assists for the Rowdies despite arriving in May last year. Now a look at the formations brought to you by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
All right, Mike. Well, there are 5 new starters in the starting 11 for the Rowdies, but here's OCB first. Earl Edwards Jr. in goal, and there you said you talked about Michael Cox. He's the lone player up top. Neil Lewis will be captaining the side for OCB tonight. And for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Stuart Campbell's side, there you see 5 new players. Akira Fitzgerald in goal. Luke Bowden, the former member of OCB, on that left back position. Marcel Schaefer starting there, number 4 in the midfield. Joe Cole, that attacking mid. Georgi Ristov is the striker in the lineup for Stuart Campbell's side.
Well, the kickoff is coming up next. The USL about to kick off here in St. Petersburg. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdy Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
Did you hear? All Children's Hospital is now Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
There's a lot to a name.
Especially when that name is a world leader in healthcare.
We still deliver the same compassion we provided for 90 years.
Plus the excellence you expect from Johns Hopkins.
Together we can conquer the biggest challenges and offer your child the very best care.
When it comes to kids, choose Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
We got the sun, we got today, we got the sun, jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in, it's just you and me, in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg.
And welcome into Al Lang Stadium, Tampa Bay Rowdies and Orlando City B. Let's get a good look at the coaches here today. First, Anthony Poulos, who is the head coach of the Orlando City B team, and we had a chance to see and talk to him in the pregame. He's excited about this opener and a full house in front of it. And for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, it's Stuart Campbell, who will be having the reins here for his 2nd season complete to start up. He did take over in 2015 back in them. But these two guys will have their hands full on that, as you see Orlando City in their red or their purple. I don't know, I might be colorblind. Typical purple and gold out there as they pose for the team photos. The Rowdies will be wearing the green and yellow hoops with the green shorts. Let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Heather Donnelly, who's on the sideline.
Hi, Mike. The atmosphere here inside Al Lang Stadium right now is electric. Shortly after noon today, this match was announced as a sellout, and the Rowdies even had to bring in some temporary bleachers for the Orlando City supporters group section. Fans are so pumped for this game. They've been waiting this whole offseason. It felt like such a long offseason, and they are ready to go here tonight at Al Lang, guys.
I think we're ready to go, too, as Lee, we get an opportunity to have the officials. Ted Uncle will be your central official. It'll be assisted, you see, by Kyle Longville, Walter Headley, and your 4th official, Alexander Derestang. We're getting the smell of the sulfur from the smoke bombs, and should be a lot of smoke bombs. See a lot of purple down on the other side. The Rowdies, Ralph's Mob certainly making their voices heard, and Lee, I think we get a chance. We're going to see the Rowdies go from right to left on your screen to start tonight.
Well, I wouldn't want to have it any other way, wouldn't you, Mike? What a fantastic atmosphere it is, as Heather alluded to, here at Al Lang Stadium. My third year doing the color for the Rowdies, and I have not seen anything like this so far. This is fantastic. This is what rivalries bring to any league, and it's so great to have this I-4 derby to bring these two sets of fans together. I'm sure it'll be the same when the Rowdies go and play down in Orlando. What a way to kick off their first match, the Rowdies, in the United Soccer League.
A lot of passion here by the fans, and we'll say because it is the full house and at the season opener with the security, there's still people waiting in line, so it's already a lot of the Rockets supporters are getting us prepared for tonight, but it will be filing in still as we go. Rowdies looking like they'll kick off, going from right to left on your screen. That's a little bit more on the west, on the southwest, make that the northwest, kind of heading towards the southeast. Ted Uncle looks at his watch. Georgie Hristov stands over the ball, plays it to Joe Cole in the 2017 USL season underway here in Tampa.
I'll look for the Rowdies to try to impress upon Orlando City B right away. They have more experience out there. They have some fast players on the younger side. There you see Akira Fitzgerald getting the start in goal because of Matt Pickens with that neck injury getting his first touch on the ball. These are all really close to must-win situations for Stuart Campbell early in this USL season, with a lot of their games at home early on in this first month of play.
Will be the pressure as Earl Edwards has the ball, getting the start in net for Orlando. Good look at Edwards. As that ball headed back to him. Now drops it down at his feet. He'll send it up towards midfield. Long. Neil Collins will challenge for the header, but it's won first by Michael Cox. But Bowden is the guy who gets it for the Rowdies. Joe Cole trying to run onto it, does not get there. The second ball played over, and Cole will have it at his feet. Plays it towards Marcel Schaefer, who was able to send it across, and it's cleared out. It'll be a corner kick for the Rowdies. Schaefer, another one of those newcomers for the Rowdies.
Yeah, Schaefer with the most appearances ever in Wolfsburg history, coming over from that club. His agent just gave him a call and said, is there anything here, as he wanted to make the move to North America.
Michael Nanchoff will take the corner. Bent down towards the ground. Now play back out to Nanchoff, off for Bowden. Nanchoff will cut it back. Bowden takes it, and Nanchoff will be called for the foul behind the play. Well, for viewers in Tampa Bay, the Rowdies celebrate the start of a new season. In Tampa Bay's top comedy, The Big Bang Theory celebrates a 2-year renewal. That means more of Sheldon and the gang every night at 7 and 7:30 on MOR. Just can't get enough.
You know who sings the theme song for that show, Mike?
Actually, that is a nice trivia question for me, because I did know that at one point, but I do not. I'm going to guess it's a Canadian band.
Yeah, you're halfway there. It is. It's the Bare Naked Ladies. Great Canadian band.
That show, incredibly popular and a great run of syndication, and MOR loves bringing it to the folks here in Tampa. And the Tampa Bay area, that is. Which includes St. Pete, which is where we are, as Damian Lowe pushed from behind.
Yeah, Damian Lowe with a great preseason, Mike. When you talk about players trying to break into this 11, Tam Makandawiri, you know, not sure if he's entirely fit to get back into it, so great to have a player like Lowe, and watch for him on set pieces to get up and get in. He's a big player. He can also play at the striker position and get his head up on the ball, so he's good with the ball at his feet, good in the air as well.
Sent towards Georgie Hristov. Will he be able to keep it in? No, he'll make a tackle on the ball, and down and over the line. It will be a goal kick.
Well, Georgie Hristov playing as that lone striker, Joe Cole in behind him. Leo Fernandez playing on that left-hand side. An interesting move tonight. He's comfortable out there. But the other one is Michael Nanchoff, who used to play on that left-hand side, Mike. He's over to the right. And when we asked Stuart Campbell about that, he had said, you know, he's very familiar with that position. Although he played on the left here with the Rowdies when he was with the Portland Timbers in Major League Soccer. That's where he played the majority of his time, on that left-hand side.
We talk about that left-hand side, and that seems to be where the bulk of the new Rowdies are. Obviously, you mentioned Fitzgerald. But you Leo Fernandez, Luke Bowden, and Marcel Schaefer. You throw in Damian Lowe, who that ball rolls underneath. He'll recover to get it back to Fitzgerald, who now will play it to Neil Collins. But that left side is completely revamped, at least here for the opener. Orlando City, B squad here in the USL, made the playoffs last year. Now they had the ball, they'll try to go forward. And whistled behind the play is no advantage.
Well, Ted Uncle did play the advantage originally, and the ball did get to an Orlando City B player. It was a poor pass, so I don't know why he allowed that to stop and come back, and that's exactly what's being questioned right now by Marcel Schaefer. Is you allowed the play to go on, and they did get the ball on the first bit of possession, and then they made a bad pass. So that play should have just continued, in my opinion there, Mike.
Well, that's another bad pass, looking for Kevin Alston, who was coming from his right back position.
And there's Luke Bowden, very familiar with the Orlando City players and playing with that team for many years before coming over this year, and will play a big role at the left back position, I think, for the Rowdies this year.
Bowden will lose it. Now touch towards the corner. Deacon cuts it back inside to Larea, and he'll take a shot. It will go at Fitzgerald, who covers his near post well.
Now some good play and good possession here from Orlando City B in the opening moments of this game. It's always, you know, there's that nervous tension to start off a season and a first game at home, and right now Orlando's doing a fine job of taking in that pressure and being able to deal with it. This has got a thunderous pace to begin with. I can imagine once we get 15-20 minutes into this, both teams will settle a little bit into this, and we'll see it settle down a little more. Both teams just giving the ball away, not much possession on either side of the ball in the early moments of this one.
Good look at a former Rowdy, PC, who joined Tampa Bay last year, mid-season, now moved on. He gets a chance. He's suited up for both of the Orlando City MLS games, but he has not had a chance to play. They are 2-0 on the year.
Now Jason Kreis looking to do a good job coming into that club. So much success with Real Salt Lake in Major League Soccer, and he's really making the team his own, bringing in his own goalkeeping coach, bringing in players that he's familiar with. He brought in Canadian international Will Johnson from Toronto FC, where of course Will Johnson was at Real Salt Lake when Kreis was there. So some changes there to try to get this team to be a success and get them to the playoffs.
Well, Damian Lowe will be whistled for a foul. Appears it may have been Larea who's taken down.
And there's a catch-22 with this Orlando team, Mike, and when we talked to Anthony Poulos about it after his first year as coach going into his second year at Orlando City B, he said he can't get frustrated with things he can't control, and obviously consistency in a lineup is going to be huge because, of course, this team is around to try to get the first team to be better, so it's going to be tough to get consistency because players are going to be constantly filtering through this team to go back up to Major League Soccer. So it's still important, he said, to win and to do his best and just to instill a certain mentality with his players.
From about 40 yards out, it's looking for Paul Close, headed away by Darnell King. Second ball, and that's Pierre De Silva. An opportunity to call one of Pierre De Silva's when he's playing for the under-17 national team down in Bradenton, part of the Nike International Friendlies a few years ago, but he's made his mark early on in his career with this Orlando City B team, and he did get an appearance himself with the MLS team last time out. Looking in the corner, Schaefer on the overlap run from Fernandez, but it's not going to be able to get to it. It'll be another goal kick for Orlando City.
Yeah, good effort there, and that's just getting on the same page as each other. Schaefer really only coming into training briefly coming in this week from Germany, but he's the type of player that has so much experience that it won't take him too long to fit into this.
Goal kick taken by Edwards, looking for Cox. Michael Cox drops it for Deacon. Deacon over the top. He's going to roll into the area, and Akira Fitzgerald picks it up, and while he rolls it out, we'll check in with Heather Donnelly on the sideline.
Hi, Mike. Anthony Poulos and Stuart Campbell are very similar as coaches. They actually know each other. They go way back. They used to play together at Bristol Rovers when they played during their days in England, and they actually both took similar paths to become head coaches. They both played for their respective teams, Stuart Campbell playing for the Rowdies, Anthony Pulis playing for Orlando City, and then became assistant coaches, and now they're both the head coaches of their clubs. So very similar coaches here on the sideline tonight, guys.
Yeah, they had a nice conversation in the pregame, Leah. Saw them and didn't know if I was going to get a chance to talk to them. They were reminiscing.
Well, Pulis with a great soccer mind in his father as well, and that's what a great way to learn all of his life. Tony Pulis, the head coach of West Bromwich Albion in the English Premier League, and he's done a great job with a smaller club, and they're looking to qualify for Europa League. They sit right now in 8th spot in the Premier League, and that's just outstanding job for a club that doesn't have nearly the amount of money that a Manchester United, City, Chelsea, or Arsenal have in the pockets to be able to field a competitive team.
Cole just loses it, but it gets back to Fitzgerald. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark as Collins looks to go over the top for Ristoff. It'll be played out. It is Al Lang Stadium, and it is a season opener. Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Orlando City B team. Mike Pepper, Lee Godfrey, Heather Donnelly on the sideline, scoreless as we do cross that 10-minute mark. Chested down by Schaefer to Cole. The European internationals work together, and they get it to Bowden as Cole has it taken off him now. Schaefer works back to get it to Lowe. He'll play it wide to Darnell King. A little bit of space. King in a foot race with De Silva. De Silva makes him turn around just a little bit. Had the angle on him. Vingard now switches all the way across to Bowden off the knee. Luke Bowden. Joe Cole. Fernandez. Collins will go forward and play it wide to Bowden. Now Cole steps inside, looking for a little help into the box. Cannot find the streaky Nanchoff, and now Orlando City will take the vacant area from Van Nanchoff's run.
Good vision there by Joe Cole to find that hole through the defense of Orlando City B, but Michael Nanchoff just not quite speedy enough to be able to see that that's where that pass was going to go and get in on that far post.
Collins into Vingard. Rowdies fans will notice Vingard wearing his hair in a bun this year. Ball played towards the corner. King can't catch it. It'll be a goal kick.
Well, Darnell King, what I've seen from him in the preseason and training sessions this week, Mike, he's done a fantastic job of getting up that right-hand side. He's got so much speed, and he was doing it successful with balls into the box as well in training. Last year, he didn't have as much success as he would like to have had as far as once he got into that final third is what was he going to do with it.
Looking forward. Damian Lowe wins the header. Paul Close gets the second ball, but Schaefer is the one that comes into his feet. Bowden with a little space on the far side, on the near side. Leo Fernandez. Rowdies with the better part of possession through the first 12 and a half of this game. No real shots. Orlando City actually had the shot on goal in this one. And Lowe will turn it over. Orlando City on the counterattack. Into the area, onto the left foot, cuts it back, but it's Vingard who was able to get it off of Richie Larea. Not out of trouble yet until King able to send it to midfield. Second turnover for Lowe early on this one. That one a little more dangerous for Orlando City. Lewis Neal wearing the captain's armband. Only that possession is Lowe able to let it roll over the line.
Yeah, a little bit better by Lowe this time around because it was in that no man's land zone. Was he going to pass it back to Akira Fitzgerald or just let that go out for the goal kick? A smart play just to block out Cox and be able to get that to go out. So a smart play there after giving it away a couple of times.
Fitzgerald plays it wide to Lowe. Up towards Georgie, it's over his head. Rolls to Edwards, quickly plays it out to Deacon. Has to go back towards his defense as the Rowdies force him backwards.
Now the Rowdies have to be careful, Mike. Those long balls up the middle with really only playing Georgie Ristoff up top. You have to make sure that it's pinpoint or you're just going to be giving the ball away. If not, you have to ask Leo Fernandez or Michael Nanchoff to come a little bit more inside as far as playing on that wing possession to give these defenders or holding midfielders as something, a target to go to.
When you mentioned Georgie Ristoff up top, he is the team's returning leading scorer at 11 goals last year. But the two forwards that the Rowdies signed unavailable tonight, Deshaun Brown coming from a hamstring, as right now Fernandez will pull it back, and on the near post run it will go off of, it's like Georgie Ristoff, and it'll be a goal kick.
Best opportunity for the game by the Tampa Bay Rowdies and some good movement of the ball out wide. It got out to Leo Fernandez, and Leo Fernandez able to drive a ball here. Actually,
Bowden there.
It was Bowden on coming up from that left-hand side. It was Fernandez that passed the ball to him, and Bowden getting up top there and sending the ball into the box, and Georgie very close to being able to get a leg on that one to try to put it past Earl Edwards.
Guard will drop it. Nanchoff with space, turns, keeps possession, finds the wide man King. Joe Cole now on it. Cole looking for Schaefer, but it's read by Michael Cox, who takes that away and allows Orlando City to look forward. That rolls under the foot, but no pressure, so able to recover is Connor Donovan. To their captain Neal, looking long. Be over the head of Bowden towards the corner. Bowden able to run Michael Cox off the ball and get the throw in for the Rowdies.
Now Michael Cox with a lot of experience of playing in a few different areas. Played with FC Edmonton for 3 years with over 50 appearances there, and at the collegiate level, he had a massive amount of success in Canada, playing for the York University Lions, just north of downtown Toronto, helping them win their 5th national championship. He scored 4 goals in the tournament and was named the MVP.
Well, Marcel Schaefer tees it up from about 30, goes off the gut of one of the Orlando City players. I think it may have been off the gut of Lewis Neal. It'll be a corner kick, a U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
And we still have a member of the OCB down. I believe that might be Paul Close.
I think that shot went off of him.
Yeah, that was a close range for that one. So he's shaken up a little bit there, just at the top of the box. And we'll see what the Rowdies can do with this corner kick opportunity.
Well, it is the second U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Rowdies, as Michael Nanchoff sends that in. Off the head, back post, and on the deflection, the Rowdies can't put it in. It'll be a goal kick. Georgie Ristoff on the back post. Missed the near post on it.
Yeah, Neil Collins was in there too at the top of the 6. It flies over him, and I think that might have been Luke Bowden in on that one. Here's another body that the Rowdies can put forward, and he got a little bit of that one, but not able to direct it towards goal.
Collins wins that header, but Michael Cox is able to get the rebound. He'll turn. He'll tee one up. Does it go off of the green and yellow? No, it doesn't. It will be a goal kick. Akira Fitzgerald.
Well, Akira Fitzgerald's had a lot of minutes. It's a good thing about having to go into this first regular season game after Matt Pickens went down. Akira Fitzgerald played pretty much every minute of preseason soccer for the Rowdies, and unfortunately last game against FC Miami on the bad end of that, but the Rowdies just unlucky controlling a lot of that game, not being able to put one in. But sometimes that really helps, you know what, in getting touches and getting that feel for playing with a new team.
Right, it's the 69th minute against Montreal in the Suncoast Invitational. Rowdies won that one, but Akira Fitzgerald played the remaining 3 games. Had to come in that one too. Played towards the corner. Orlando City able to keep it in as Deacon, but was running too far, and Neil Collins let him hold it. So possession goes to the Rowdies, but they'll turn it over in the Orlando City half. Towards the corner, PC. Pierre De Silva working on that side. Now Neil looks to switch it across to the chest of Alston. Donovan. And again, it's Louis Neal. De Silva.
Well, you can see, Mike, how this game has slowed down just a little bit from that initial intensity, and that's something that the Rowdies have to be aware of, not fall into this sense of just sitting back now and falling into that trap. This is exactly what Orlando City B want to happen in this game, to slow it down and to be able to just keep this pace and then possibly either have a long ball over the top or get a turnover and get going on the counterattack and catch the Rowdies on surprise. So the Rowdies really, in the first 20 minutes of their first game here of the regular season in the United Soccer League, need to keep pushing, need to keep pressing, and need to keep on the front foot.
Challenged by Lowe, sent forward. Donovan heads it back to his goalie. Well, for viewers in Tampa Bay, you can watch the Rowdies at home on this TV, Tampa Bay, all season long. Next Saturday, the Rowdies take on Toronto FC live from Al Lang Stadium. Pre-game coverage starts at 7, only on this TV, Tampa Bay, Digital Channel 32.2, Spectrum 630, Frontier Fios Channel 463, and Comcast 229. It's played towards the corner, and Lowe has to run across, beats De Silva to it. And Michael Nanchoff is taken down. And while Nanchoff's on the ground, check in again with Heather on the sideline.
Mike, there's a rivalry between these two teams, and it starts with the fan bases, because obviously the players, most of them have not played in an I-4 derby. Most of them have not played a match in this rivalry. But we spoke with Anthony Pulis yesterday, and he says that he's emphasized to his team how much this game means to the fans. And same thing with Stuart Campbell and the Rowdies. They want to win this one for the fans, for this sold-out crowd. So even though this is a new rivalry for most of the players on the field, they do understand the importance of this game to the fan bases, guys.
Thanks, Heather, as we get a look at Anthony Pulis. Ant, as they affectionately call him. Overlooking as Marcel Schaefer sends a long ball. It's onto the foot of Nanchoff, over the head of PC, but Nanchoff can't control it. Rolls into Earl Edwards as we hit the halfway mark here at Al Lang Stadium. Scoreless between the Rowdies and Orlando City. There's the long ball. See Nanchoff got a foot on it, but then tangled up a little with PC as well.
Very evenly played first 22 minutes so far in this one, Mike. Really one shot that didn't really bother Fitzgerald so much. Set pieces going in the way of the Rowdies so far on corner kicks, and it's something they're going to have to look at. This is a speedy team, Orlando City. They've got a lot of youth out there, and that's one of the things that when you do build for that MLS team, that you're going to have a lot of young players out there really vying for spots, really trying to impress that top side that, you know what, you want to be signed.
Darnell King told to get it in play, whips it in. Joe Cole onto it, gets behind the defender, but he'll play it out for Fernandez. Leo Fernandez steps over, And onto the left foot, Marcel Schaefer. Save ball there, cleared out by Orlando City. Great opportunity for the Rowdies. They still have it. They'll send it back into the box. It's Cole. 3 Orlando City around him, and they're able to take him off the ball. But not taken away, but Vingard's touch falls to Larea, that is, Richie Larea. But Neil Collins anticipates that pass and makes his own run. And it looks like Vingard taken down. Or is that Nanchoff? That was Nanchoff, Michael Nanchoff, able to get possession. And the Rowdies, it looks about 32 yards out, right in the center of the field, will have an opportunity.
Yeah, but the first great opportunity of this game going to the Rowdies. Very unlucky that that one did not go in, and they kept the pressure on. Orlando City B never really able to clear it out of the half, and now here's a fantastic opportunity, as you see from the camera behind Schaefer as he lines this one up, and you have to wonder if he's just gonna really just go up and try to drive this ball. He's a good 10 yards behind it, Mike.
Well, he ripped one earlier, and Edwards had to go down to his left to make the save. There was no Rowdies in front, but you're right, it looks like he's gonna tee this one up in front of a 3-man wall. It hits that 3rd man, and Schaefer plays it back out wide. It's going to deflect. Darnell King will get to it first. He'll just play it back up. We may have offside, and it is offside, as Nanchoff couldn't get back into position. Ball played short. Looking is Lewis Neal. Donovan again in the back will use his Tommy Redding, his coach center back. PC on the sideline. De Silva looking for PC, who continues his run, and King over the line. There will be a throw-in.
Here's a look, Mike, at that opportunity. The first great one is you see Schaefer throwing that ball across, and not much of an angle there, but Earl Edwards able to get down and make a nice save.
King and De Silva tied up, and it will be off of De Silva. Throw in for the Rowdies.
And so right away, Marcel Schaefer is showing his experience and really a standout player so far in the first 25 minutes of play here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, coming over from Germany. 8 caps on the national team between 2008 and 2010.
Headed on. Orlando City will chase it down. Loose ball, and Edwards comes outside his box. He does clear it up.
Rowdies now doing a much better job now, Mike, of keeping possession and doing the things that they need to do. Good one-touch passing here, moving it up that left-hand side.
And now towards the corner, now played in. That ball deflected as Ristov can't get past the defender. Ball loose in the area. Now down at the feet. They're going to drop it back. And that ball teed up by Vingard, and it's blocked by Orlando City. Loose ball out to the Rowdies. Bowden in for Schaefer. Schaefer looking far post. Teed up by Cole, and he misses on the volley. And Orlando City brings it out the back now. Over the top, and Lowe wins the header. Turned over, Rowdies have a chance. Joe Cole on the knee, looking in towards the area. Fernandez almost forced Orlando City a turnover. Now the ball's still free in the area. Dropping back. Vingard again, playing it wide. Here's Bowden. Bowden, and cleared away by Orlando City. Darnell King over the back of an Orlando City player. It'll be a free kick for Orlando City.
Well, this build-up now, Mike, has been outstanding by the Rowdies. I think this is where the experience and playing together for a little bit longer, it is starting to show. Orlando City B making some sloppy mistakes defensively, unable to clear the ball and really disorganized. Not great communication, and it's starting to open up quite a bit for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. You see Darnell King, the right call there by Ted Unkel as he comes in from behind on Richie Lorea. And no problem with the call there, but the build-up is really starting to go in the favor of the Rowdies as the back line really isn't doing a great job right now for Orlando City B.
Deacon has to go back to his defensive side. For Alston. There's Tommy Redding. Neal looking across the field. Collins reads that, looking for Cox. Will Collins on a run up to midfield. Doesn't have a lot of help in front of him. He'll drop it short. Now King is getting the ball from Cole. On the overlap, it is King. Ian Nanchoff. They'll go back towards Leo Fernandez. Brings it down, whips it across, and Edwards is there to cover it up inside his goal box.
Oh, good play there by Neil Collins. That's where it all started on the pickoff, but then I think it surprised a lot of Rowdies players because he was almost the furthest man on the pitch.
Well, turned over again here. Schaefer is pushed down from behind, and it's still play on. No, it'll be a free kick, maybe on the second one. Schaefer was pushed first, and as he went in, it play on, but then the next Rowdy in was taken down.
Yeah, and I thought that was really close, Mike, to being in the box, and I'm surprised he didn't point. It's a tough from our vantage point in the broadcast booth on the angle, but it certainly was close to being at that 8-yard, and Ted Unkel calling that just outside. So another really good scoring opportunity here in the 32nd minute of play.
Well, this one's 19 yards out, a little bit of an angle. Cole is over it, and Nanchoff is over it. Right and left foot. Schaefer straight on. It wouldn't surprise me to see Michael Nanchoff. And a 4-man wall set up right now for Orlando City.
Well, Joe Cole's had some great strikes from just outside the box last season. We've seen him before.
And it is Cole going far post and just misses as it didn't curl enough.
Well, he had the wall beat, he had the keeper beat, and it just didn't come back around enough to be able to get inside that far post. Have a look at it. He sees the hole, and that just misses that back post.
Well, another turnover by Orlando City. They've really gotten sloppy in the last 5 minutes, but they do get the ball back now. Lorea. Back to PC. Drops short. That one goes off one of the Orlando City players. He's down. Maybe off the stomach. So he got the wind knocked out of him. They're going to hold up play. That one goes off of PC.
Yeah, it looked like it just got him in the side, I guess, there, and knocked the wind out of him as you see PC putting his arms up and just knocked the wind out of him.
They just caught him right, just right.
Oh, it gives chance for Mike Stewart Campbell to be able to get some words of advice out to his players here. They have been doing a better job now of closing down the defenders of Orlando City B, causing some turnovers and getting some opportunities forward.
Fitzgerald. Here's Bowden. Has it taken off him by Larea. He shoulders Larea back. Bowden will continue towards the corner. A little extra activity there.
Yeah, the crowd reacting to Larea, taking a swing basically at Luke Bowden after he thought he was fouled on that first takeaway. But I just thought that was a good 50-50 challenge by Bowden, and surprised the referee said play on, but he just let it go altogether.
Towards the corner, Bowden on the overlapping run, the tackle. That's Lewis Neal. Go out and throw it for the Rowdies.
Now watch this. He loses the ball, then Bowden just bodies into Larea, and it's that swipe after the fact. You see Luke Bowden pause as the referee just waved it off and play on, but I would wonder if Bowden went down, if it would have been a different situation from the official.
Up for Michael Cox. Tackled away. And it'll be on. I guess, I don't know, it looked like Nanshaw came in clean. Was he going to do one of the cleats up by one of the players? It'll be the Orlando City player. And I believe that's Lewis Neal. Was Neal who got the card.
Well, that's the captain, Lewis Neal. That's a good challenge there, and it's the after the fact on Neal coming through Nanshoff right here as he just completely mistimes that as Nanshoff wins the ball. That's a very dangerous tackle by Lewis Neal, the man from Leicester City, England.
Drop back for Nanshoff. Who's up, sent towards the corner. Bowden can't get there, be a goal kick. And again, for the viewers in Tampa Bay, you're watching Rowdy Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay. After the action on the field, check out all the movie action on Tampa Bay's first broadcast movie channel. April features Clint Eastwood and Kurt Russell in a couple of action-packed movie marathons. It'll be foolish to miss it. This TV Tampa Bay. Log on to MOR-TV.com. In the 37th minute, still scoreless. In the last 10 minutes, it really has turned. The Rowdies have had a few chances on careless giveaways by Orlando City, much like that one. But they haven't been able to score yet. Now it's pushed out towards Darnell King. And really haven't been incredibly dangerous since maybe one or two chances. Well, deflect off of Orlando City and headed away. Loose ball again, though, for the Rowdies. Nanshoff has help wide, but he'll go back to, I believe that is Cole, or that was Vingard. Vingard now wide out towards Collins.
Good job there by Bowden. He's such a big player on the ball. He's got some good feet there, and he was able to fight off the defender to keep possession. But right now, it's Orlando City B just keeping the Rowdies outside, doing a good job of forcing them to go around and keep the ball wide, not getting into the inside for an opportunity on goal. And it ends up being a goal kick in the end, but the pressure has been all Tampa Bay after the first 5-6 minutes of this game, when it really was end to end. As we take a look at those stats, and that's how it's gone so far. 8 opportunities, a 1 on goal from each team.
I think Leo Fernandez actually whistled for a foul, which when you saw him pull it down. It is Al Lang Stadium, and into the 39th minute. Rowdies and Orlando City square at 0. Mike Pepper, Lee Godfrey, Heather Donnelly on the sideline, and It's Joe Cole running in behind the defense. He's able to get onto it, into the area. Cut back across. Georgi Hristov shot saved by Edwards. Hristov tried to go around him. Edwards, great recovery and able to stuff out the shot.
Wow, we've said this so many times, Mike. It's almost like last year, deja vu all over again. So many opportunities, and just that one last move, that one bit unable to finish. Georgi Hristov trying to make that one extra play and unable to get it around Earl Edwards.
Well, Orlando City able to earn a throw at midfield. Here's that opportunity, Lee, as you saw Cole get in.
Yeah, Joe Cole doing a great job. Puts it across, Hristov onside, and it's right there. Yeah, Edwards just doing a great job, Mike, of tracking that ball and being able to stay with Georgi Hristov, make himself big, and come up with the ball.
So important for goalkeepers to hold their feet until you have to go down. Edwards, clinical in that save. Bowden looking long. Headed away. Rowdies will have to throw. Back to Collins.
Yeah, that one from Damian Lowe a little bit too far once again. But Orlando City B having trouble getting this ball over their own half right now towards the end of this first 45 minutes of play. It's been all Rowdies the last half hour or so. The Rowdies just unable to get one past Earl Edwards so far, making two big saves in this first half, one on Schaefer and one on Georgi Hristov.
An Orlando City throw. Schaefer is taken down, and that's right there. That could be a second yellow, perhaps. I think Ted Unkel was going to the pocket on Neal, but then he saw that he's already got one, so I think he decided that's the last warning.
That's very generous, isn't it, Mike? I think at this point in the game, if it's a yellow warranted to be a yellow card, it should be a yellow card.
Well, Darnell King, PC, was able to come across defensively. Good defensive play by the Brazilian. Collins, Lowe worked together to get the ball off of Cox. Yeah, it looked like Ted Unkel had made a decision to do it, and then saw I just carded 24 about 8 minutes ago, and opted not to pull it. And this opportunity, though, for the Rowdies. Dropped back, Hristov again. On the right foot, Georgi Hristov over the top. Nanchov, great steal, found him, but Georgi can't find the target.
Yeah, and you can see by the look in his eyes, he's furious with himself. As we see Nanchov with the little pushover, and Georgi switches it back to his right foot, and he just got underneath that ball. And from that position, you want to be able to get that one on target and make Earl Edwards do something. Instead, he skies it a few feet over the crossbar.
Joe Cole going to need some medical attention right now. Cole is on the ground, sitting down. But Ted Unkel walked up to him.
Well, the good news is it looks like it's something in his hand. He might.
Let's check in with Heather Donnelly. Oh, it might be a contact. What? Did I steal your thunder there, Heather? Heather, by chance, did you see what's wrong with Joe Cole? Is it a contact?
You got me now, Mike?
Yeah, we do.
Good. Yeah, Joe Cole motioned to his eye when he called head athletic trainer Andrew Keene onto the field, and it looks like he had an issue with his contact lens.
Okay. Yeah. A good camera work by our crew here that you could see him getting it put back on his finger and getting that back into his eye. So that's the good news part of it for the Rowdies fans, that Joe Cole isn't injured. He'll have to go off the pitch until he's waved back on. It's one issue I'm having this year too now, Mike, going back to contact lenses and getting used to those. Sometimes you even forget they're in there.
Do You know the feeling. Long time. LASIK 18 years ago, but they say it doesn't last, and they're not lying. Orlando City take possession after the goal kick off the wrist-off miss. Now played towards the corner. That one's well over the head of Michael Cox, so it will roll back to Kira Fitzgerald.
Now, Mike, a couple of rule changes in the United Soccer League this year as getting bumped up to Div 2, and of course they go to FIFA sanctioned 3 substitutions in a match. There were previously 5 subs because of scheduling and teams playing back-to-back games, but now there are 3 subs per game, and as well there is a good behavior incentive to players that are booked. So for example, if you've had 4 yellow cards in 4 consecutive games, but then you go 5 games without a booking, one of those gets rescinded. You can't go into the negative column, but there is stuff for good behavior now in the United Soccer League. And this goes out for a corner.
Leo Fernandez tries to tee it up for about 25, and it will go out for a U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Rowdies. And it'll be Michael Nanchoff who trots the 60 yards or so across the field. Out swinger. All of the U.S. Ameribank corner kicks have been from the near side tonight. This one no different. Found looking over the head, off to the chest. Now teed up by Cole. Rolling towards the corner. It will now be a U.S. Ameribank corner kick on the far side.
A good opportunity there as the ball fell down to Martin Vingard. And he took a couple of touches and tried to just drive that one low, but it took a deflection off an Orlando City B player. And good job by the Rowdies to block it out to be able to earn another corner kick.
Nanchoff, who's Stuart Campbell said maybe his best player in the preseason. Looking to send this one into the box. Onto the back post, over everyone except headed up in the air by Vingard. Over the line, it will be a goal kick.
The other big thing this year, Mike, in the United Soccer League is going to be the use of VAR, the video assistant referee. I had the opportunity to see it in its works in preseason at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. There will be 25 games that VAR will be used to help assist the head official in any match. Now, the head official has the last call in any decision-making process, but the opportunities that they'll use the VAR system is in goals, penalty decisions, direct red cards, and incidents in mistaken identity. So it's excellent. We've seen it in a couple of opportunities where a player was taken down in the box and they went to the VAR system to decide whether it was a penalty kick or not. And very interesting, if a goal goes in and the play plays on, then they'll go back and add that time on.
Well, there is 2 minutes of stoppage time, and Schaefer came away with the steal. Rowdies look to maybe put one on the board before the half. It's going to roll underneath the foot of Vingard, but King back towards the back post, and as that one goes over the line, it'll be a goal kick. Ted Uncle raises his hand in the air, and it will be the end of the first half. A scoreless first half, but plenty of opportunities, particularly the last 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Well, Heather Donnelly is right now on the sideline with one of the coaches. I believe it's with Anthony Poulos.
Yeah, Mike. Coach, first 45 minutes of soccer of the season in the books. What do you think of your team's performance?
It's a little bit frantic to start with, like we knew it would be first game of the season. We weathered the storm a little bit at times. I think we're causing ourselves a few problems with some cheap turnovers in our own half. So a few things to adjust at halftime.
Yeah, quite a few chances for the Rowdies in the first half. What can you do differently in the second half to kind of shift the momentum and generate some offense of your own?
Well, it's the decision-making of the guys on the ball. I think you've seen we want to try and play football, but it's knowing the right times and when to do that.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. And as we mentioned, scoreless first half. We got the highlights coming up and a lot of things here in the next few minutes as we will bring you halftime. It's Tampa Bay Rowdies 0, Orlando City 0. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Today, we can connect more, play more, do more. And all that more takes energy. At Duke Energy, we're doing more too. More innovative technology, like ways to fix outages before they happen, for more reliable energy every day. So no matter how much you do, we're always here, with power for your life.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1 million megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
Every hour. If you're new in town and working on your dreams and you don't know what you need, we got the perfect plan for you. My Blue, we are here, we're here for you, for you, for you. We're Florida Blue. Don't you worry now, 'cause you don't have to. Here we always say we got you. We are here, we're here for you. This is your home, Florida Blue.
Some people are blessed. Compassion and empathy are second nature. Being selfless increases their self-worth. They consider caring for others a calling, not a sacrifice. And we consider them our role models. Because if humanity can make the world a better place, imagine what it can do for healthcare.
Lee Godfrey here at the half. And Leah, I think when we look at it, the first 15, 20 minutes, pretty even. Both teams had it. Orlando City maybe really the only shot on goal. But after they hit that 25-minute mark, Rowdies, whether it was creating turnovers or whatever, really dominated play.
Yeah, first of all, a fantastic atmosphere, sellout crowd, both fans well represented here at Al Lang Stadium. You're absolutely right. As that half moved on, the Rowdies really did start to dominate. Some poor mistakes and giveaways by Orlando City B as we take a look at the first half highlights, that the Rowdies really did seem to fall into this and unlucky not to be up by 1 or 2 after 45 minutes of play. Luke Bowden outside, as you see there. Georgi Ristov just unable to get on it there. He had multiple opportunities in this first half, and the Rowdies really did keep coming, taking advantage of opportunities and giveaways by Orlando City B. As you see Ristov again at that back post and just not quite knowing where he was in position to where the goal was. Another good opportunity by the newcomer Schaefer there, and there you see Edwards just getting a hand on that one. Or that one could have gone into the side netting at the back post. An excellent opportunity there to score, but Edwards to the task and cleared away by OCB. Here we go, a little bit later on, 2 players taken down, and there you see the second one just outside the box, and Joe Cole with the free kick, and that one just curls around the outside of that back post. Now, we've seen Joe Cole put that in the back of the net last year on numerous occasions. Unlucky there again. Joe Cole battling there to get the ball, and he finds Georgi Ristov. He makes one move to his right, but Edwards does a great job of tracking him and not going down and diving and getting his arms on that one to make the save, or that's a sure goal. Rowdies again keep coming. Ristov once again with another opportunity, makes one move to his right to get the ball onto that foot, but then just gets underneath that ball. As you see, he had a lot of space to put that in, Mike, in that first half.
Well, you see the shots 13-2, but really shots on goal only 2-1. You can see that 8-0 inside the box there, Lee, and that really kind of tells you Rowdy's able to create pressure. They just got to find a way to put the ball in the net.
Yeah, they do. In corner kicks, too, they dominated in that area as well. And set pieces is really where you get an opportunity to get things on goal and create opportunities. And it will come if the Rowdies or if OCB don't make any adjustments. It could be a long 45 minutes. But the Rowdies here at home would just love to break the ice and get that first goal.
Yeah, we will. And we'll have a lot more here on the halftime show. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxiClean.
Stains on t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxiClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxiClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxiClean in a detergent. One cap beats 4 of theirs. OxiClean gets the tough stains out.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Got the sun, we got today. We got the sun, jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in. It's just you and me in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg. The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
Welcome back to USL Soccer here on This TV Tampa Bay. It's halftime, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies and Orlando City B are currently scoreless. And halftime is when we like to take the opportunity to get to know these athletes better and what they're like off the field, not just on the field. So we asked the Tampa Bay Rowdies what they order when they go to the coffee shop. Take a look.
I'll have a black coffee with space for milk.
If it's hot out, I usually go with like an iced vanilla latte. If it's a little chilly, caramel macchiato, or just the straight black if I'm feeling dangerous.
Double espresso. Of the mornings, it's my vice coffee. I must admit, I do drink too much of it.
Black coffee, Americano. Keep it simple. Yeah, nice and strong.
Straight black coffee, or if I'm really feeling it, then I'll go like a hazelnut latte.
Coffee shop, I usually get a chai tea latte.
Honestly, I switch it up every time. I try to get like one of those ones with a little cream, like looking at the top, get a little shape in there or something. Maybe a cafe con leche, because I'm a little bit Cuban.
Usually a latte with almond milk.
It depends what coffee shop.
I like to try different coffee.
Ooh, I don't like coffee at all, so hot chocolate all the time.
I really don't drink coffee. I drink espresso shots, that's it.
See, that's interesting. I don't drink coffee. Do you know that only 2 months ago I had my first coffee in my life? I'm branching out. You know, the States is bringing the best out in me.
Lee, I don't know. I heard the coffee choices. My choice when I go to a coffee shop's water, just because I'm not a coffee fan. But certainly those, if I did like coffee, they all sound good.
Yeah, and my wife makes fun of me because I'll go into the Starbucks across the street here from Al Lang Stadium and get my mochaccino white chocolate with whipped cream on the top, and I get some flack from her on that. I'm like, hey, I like some coffee with some chocolate in it, but when I'm at home, I'm strictly, just a coffee with 1 cream, 1 sugar, plain type of guy in the morning at home. But it's interesting to hear all the other guys' takes on it.
Well, for viewers in Tampa Bay, you can watch the Rowdies at home on This TV Tampa Bay all season long. Next Saturday, the Rowdies take on Toronto FC live from Al Lang Stadium. Pre-game coverage starts at 7, only on This TV Tampa Bay. Digital channel 32.2, Spectrum 630, Frontier Fios channel 463, and Comcast. 2:29, Heather with the head coach, Stuart Campbell.
Thank you, Mike. Coach, a fast-paced first half with a lot of opportunities for your team. What are your thoughts on how they performed?
Yeah, I thought we performed pretty well. Like I said, the first 15 minutes was it was frantic almost. It was end-to-end, but once the game settled down, we started getting our rhythm and we moved the ball really well, and obviously had a few chances. Disappointed we didn't take, but I believe we'll take them in the second half.
Yeah, you're scoreless here at the half. What can you do to break through in the second half?
More of the same intensity, the same discipline. That's what's given us a foothold in the game, and we have to build on that in the second half.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Not too many changes for Stuart Campbell, guys.
Yeah, Heather, I'm looking out here, and with Orlando City go in the opposite direction, Lee, it'll be easier for us to find the numbers, get familiar with their players a little bit more. Doesn't appear they've made any changes either as they get set to kick off for the second half.
Yeah, no, I think this is a big test, and I think that's what Anthony Poulos mentioned before going into the locker room at the end of the first half, is that they'll have to make some changes, and he's putting the faith in the same 11 that he has on the pitch right now to make some adjustments. And I just think it's more about more communication at that back and not giving away the ball.
Well, they give it away again, though. Now, Leo Fernandez will give it back up, though. He's down a little bit, but no foul by, says Ted Uncle. And that will go off a boat and it'll be a throw-in.
Because we've seen the scenario a lot last year for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, them controlling so much of play, and then it only takes a 1 counter attack for a team to come down and nick a goal, and that just deflates a team so much because they're working so hard, and it takes a very professional outfit to be able to continue after going down a goal. So the Rowdies definitely do not want that to happen tonight at Al Lang Stadium.
Yeah, such a difference you can make when a team who is controlling the game, as the Rowdies did the last 15-20 minutes of the first half. If they take a goal, desperation, it may just open up the gates. But should Orlando City come down and maybe some sort of counterattack, you talked about it there, Lee, it's desperation, and sometimes it just agonizes everything else throughout the rest of that game. It'll be a throw in for the Rowdies right in front of their own bench. There's a good look at Joe Cole wearing the captain's armband for the Rowdies tonight. Contact issues early. Actually, I guess it will be a free kick. Didn't hear the whistle blow, but it'll be a kick right in front of the Rowdies bench. Cole looking for help. Doesn't have a lot in front of him. Ted Uncle saying, play on, let's do it. Now they're going to send Damian Lowe up towards the back post. Cole will step it off. Sends it towards the 18, into the box. Georgie flips it on. And PC and Damian Lowe collided heads. Damian Lowe saying he got elbowed, and PC is holding his face. I saw Ristov go up, and then we saw both players hit the ground, Lee. I didn't see much in that point, and it appears that PC might have some of that. He's looking and says he has blood. I don't see any blood on the hand.
Oh, it's tough here, and Damian Lowe's going in to have some more words for PC, just to say, I didn't do anything, and why are you down right now? So both players saying it wasn't me. And Uncle just doing a good job, I think, at that point. And the side judge did not see anything either. Damian Lowe was trying to go over and say, did you not see what happened there? So in the end, they'll take it as a 50-50 challenge, and the game goes on.
As it was, it rolled back to Edwards anyway, so no change in possession for any reason. Georgie's pass back from Marcel Schaefer is a bit too far. Turn is Larea. Larea has a chance. He's taken down in a free kick for Orlando City.
Larea doing a good job there and picking up the ball on a turnover there from the Rowdies and making his way towards the top of that 18, and a bit of a lazy foul there by the Rowdies, just pulling back and taking him down. It was getting into a little bit of a dangerous position there, but this is really probably the best opportunity that Orlando City Bees had in this game in the first couple of minutes of the second half.
Pierre De Silva will run over the ball, sent towards the back post, and Fitzgerald has to punch it clear. But now it's sent back in, and it's free, top of the area. But the Rowdies seem to have possession, but it's a lot of traffic. Ball played, and it is Orlando City, and it is Kevin Alston who just sends it up towards the corner. Lowe is there with Larea, and as Lowe keeps it up towards Nanchoff. Redding wins the header. Now he's challenged again with Fernandez and able to come away with it for the purple-clad Orlando City. Off Darnell King. Throw in. OCB.
PC looking to throw this ball back into play. No one coming forward. Finally, they are able to get this one back into play. And so far, Orlando City have reacted well to whatever Pula said in the locker room in between the first and the second half.
5 minutes into the second half, and majority of play early on has been in the far end of the field. PC throws it in to De Silva. He'll get it back. PC cuts inside. That's Neal. Neal does have the only caution of the first half, and maybe a little lucky not to receive a second one. Can't imagine he'd be able to get away with a odd-looking foul here in the second half after Ted Uncle had word with him as that ball rolls back to Fitzgerald. Long ball looking for Ristov. Comes down to Nanchoff, who uses King. King with some space with his speed. De Silva has those young legs, able to at least on the angle slow him down. And it goes back to Lowe. Ristoff. That will go over the line. It will be a goal kick. You know, and Lee, I mean, we talked a little bit in the first half, and you know, and the Rowdies and their struggles and the opportunities, and Georgie Ristoff. I don't know if you were to ask before the game and say these will be the 2 opportunities from 6 to 8 yards out, it might be Georgie Ristoff you want with those chances. Unfortunately, I mean, Edwards came up with a huge save, and the other one goes over the net.
Yeah, it's certainly, you know, the first game of the season, and 2-3 games into it, you'd expect him to put those away. So this is what happens sometimes first night, that you got to work out those frustrations and just get used to being in a game scenarios. You know, it's been a little while since the Rowdies played a real game here against a competitive side. They beat the Montreal Impact, and they showed a lot of the heart and determination that they're showing tonight. And now it's just an opportunity of finishing on them, and they're generating them. Absolutely.
That ball is sent up, and now it's Vingard. Plays it out towards Nanchoff and King. Nanchoff will have it. He'll go at the defender. Numbers towards King. King into the corner. First time around, headed away by Redding. De Silva will lose it. Vingard, though, goes down. No foul. Play on. Rowdy's looking for a call, but Lowe will have it. He'll tee up a shot from about 40, and it's going to go wide. Those big center defenders sometimes get a little wide-eyed when they see a little bit of space in front of them.
Yeah, he had some space, and he did not have to pull the trigger there. He could have kept possession of that ball for a few more seconds there to see what was developing as far as the rest of the Rowdies, reacting to the turnover from OCB.
Well, they'll play it short to PC. He'll go up. Rowdies opting to put a little pressure a little bit later. Marcel Schaefer. Bowden. Here's Fernandez, Leo Fernandez. Bowden, he's got Schaefer wide. That ball into the stands. Goal kick.
Good movement there leading up, though, to that miss-hit on that left-hand side. The Rowdies making use of this wide pitch here at Al Lang Stadium that they, 2 years ago, that they made it quite a bit wider than it was in previous seasons, to be able to bring in talent and use the width of the pitch to spread out players and use that as an advantage here at their home.
Cole has King on the overlap. Darnell King. Back to Cole. Nanchoff. Far post. Fernandez will go on to the net. Maybe it had been better served from that far angle to go back across the goal, but it goes wide. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get anything behind that one, Mike, and you're absolutely right that he should have just gone across, as we see this ball over across the 6-yard box right there, because that one didn't have anything on it and it wasn't going on goal.
Collins will beat Cox to it, and Collins will get it back. Larea will chase down Lowe. Damian Lowe. Orlando City pushing the pressure up a little bit as Larea joins Michael Cox up top a bit. Here's Joe Cole, little space. Cole going into the area. Drops it for Fernandez. Fernandez with a move into the box, into the goal. He's taken down, and it's a penalty kick. Leo Fernandez will earn a penalty. The Rowdies will have it here in the 56th minute.
Great build-up play there as Joe Cole puts it off to Fernandez. And right there, absolutely great call by the referee as Edwards knows it. He's come out with his legs and taken out Fernandez, not even close to that ball. That's an easy decision, and a penalty kick now to the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
It'll be Georgie Ristoff. PC, though, played with the Rowdies last year, just kind of rubbed Georgie's face. Georgie didn't even pay attention to him. He's standing at the 18. Edwards a little fortunate maybe not to get a card. Hard to see on that second one. Fernandez, what a move to get into the box. Here's Ristoff. Georgie Ristoff, shot, goal! And the Rowdies have taken the 1-0 lead, and they've opened the door.
Well, the build-up, Mike, from the Rowdies was coming. We saw it in the first half. And it's that hard work and determination to earn that penalty kick. And there you see Georgie Ristoff, a little bit cheeky there, Mike, going pretty much right down the middle, hoping that Edwards was going to go in one direction. And he did absolutely that. So right down the middle of the pipe. And he scores his first of the season and gives the Rowdies a 1-0 lead here in the second half.
Yeah, and last year we had so many opportunities to talk to Stuart Campbell about goals change games. I know it's such a simplistic statement. It really is, because that's what you do. But we've seen this game, and you start to wonder, how's that going to change a game? Orlando City can't continue to sit back. They're going to have to go forward, and maybe that's just going to open it up. And so, while it is a simplistic statement, there's nothing more true, because it's not just changing the scoreboard, it's changing the way the rest of this game should be played.
Yeah, and at 0-0 though, Mike, you could see why they'd want to sit back and hope to get something on the counter and try to nick a point on the road. But now that the Rowdies have scored a goal, it might open stuff up a little bit more so for the Rowdies as well.
Well, King now cuts it back. PC stands him up and able to get the tackle, clears it out. De Silva, though, will lose it. It's going to go over to Cole. Cole is offside. Flag came up, and Joe Cole not able to get to it. And for viewers in Tampa Bay, the Rowdies celebrate the start of a new season. And Tampa Bay's top comedy, The Big Bang Theory, celebrates a 2-year renewal. That means more of Sheldon and the gang every night at 7 and 7:30 on MOR. Just can't get enough. Well, PC sends it up, and Lowe will clear it out. And if you're the Rowdies, it's too early to sit back. I mean, you've controlled the way this is. You've got to continue to press and put even more pressure upon Orlando City.
Yeah, you do. And Orlando hasn't been able to get much going offensively. And whether Anthony Poulos has to change something, and you don't want to go 3 at the back because of how the Rowdies have been playing. So, and they just keep coming now.
Joe Cole able to maintain possession, finds Nanchop. Nanchop's got King running around him. He'll cut it back inside, though. To the far post, Georgie, who is offside. Ristoff was in an offside position. Fernandez was running that way, too. Georgie Ristoff is going to earn himself a yellow card for kicking the ball away. I don't disagree with the yellow, but I think that we've seen 2 instances that maybe caution should have gone out towards Orlando City here, Lee. And you know, when you kick the ball away, and particularly after you take a 1-0 lead, that one was pretty predictable, I would say.
Yeah, it is. You can't do that. I don't like to see the card come out. I'd like to see a talking to first, from Uncle to Georgie Ristoff. That should have happened first. That's something, Georgie, of course, is frustrated, and you can't do that. And in the law, yeah, that's a yellow card, but to me, that's a talking to at first, and say, Georgie, you can't be doing that. Get your head in the game. That's something that Stuart Campbell's going to have a conversation with Georgie Ristoff about, and discipline being up 1-0. That's just a card you can't take at this point in the game.
Alston was taken down. The free kick will go Orlando City's way. They'll switch the field. Wide PC on the overlap. He's going to look to send this one to the box. Darnell King is there. Go off of King, a throw in for Orlando City. Played quickly. Running on to it, Nanchop is now whistled for a foul. Or second ball's on the field, excuse me. Stoppage in play was because of a second ball. But Orlando City set it up as if there is a free kick. And maybe there was a foul on Nanchop. And it will be a free kick for Orlando City.
And this is interesting, Mike, to see how both teams are going to react after a goal has been scored. Do the Rowdies, and it appeared they wanted to keep their foot down on the pedal, but here we have OCB with a great opportunity here to counter.
Well, Pierre De Silva will send this one in, two-man wall, and flayed under the back post. Good chance here for Orlando City, but it's headed away by Collins. Run down by Ristov. Georgie will look forward. Joe Cole's there. He'll give a little pressure, sent all the way back to Edwards. Looking long, up towards the running man, Larea. He'll drop it for De Silva. And an opportunity now as that one sent back across. Now it is taken away from Fernandez. It's at the feet of Neal. Larea. Now Neal again. Played wide. That's Alston. Orlando City with good possession. They'll go towards the Tampa Bay net. But pressure by the Rowdies will force them to go backwards before Donovan able to find a man, and they'll drop it off. They continue to play on, and Fitzgerald has it. Rowdies able to get possession.
Georgie Ristov looking for a call. He's not going to get it. That's where he has to be careful on long kicks like that from the keeper, that he doesn't get the elbow up, and you never know. It could be as easy as seeing a second yellow. The Rowdies down to 10 men. That's the last thing that they would want after going up in this match. But Orlando City B doing a good job here now, taking back a little bit of that pressure that the Rowdies were applying, going all the way back into the first 45 minutes of play.
They really have. This is their best bet of possession here probably throughout the game, but they really haven't been able to go forward. The Rowdies force them to go back into their own half again. Here is Neal looking over the top for Larea. It's at his feet. Lowe will run him off the ball, and the Rowdies and Marcel Schaefer will look to counter. In towards Leo Fernandez, who is offside. Leo Fernandez whistled for offside, and it will be a substitution for Orlando City as Zach Carroll will make his way on for Kevin Alston.
Well, Zach Carroll, one of those off-season additions to Orlando City B, coming over from New York Red Bulls 2, where he made 20 appearances in their championship season with the United Soccer League. So this is one of those veteran presences that they're picking up there. I say veteran, he's only 23 years old, but he has a lot of experience coming through CONCACAF, playing for the United States under-17 team as center back at the U17 World Cup in Mexico, as well as the CONCACAF tournament in Jamaica, where he won gold. So he brings a lot of national team youth experience to this team, and of course he's probably one of those prospects that Orlando City is looking to at one point in time make a jump up to Major League Soccer.
Well, as you pointed out, as center back, so the formation for Orlando City slightly changes. They move. It appears to be maybe Redding, but now it's a good chance into the box, and Fitzgerald has it. Pierre De Silva tried to lay it off, and Orlando City with a good bout of pressure, but if Fitzgerald able to control his box with the Rowdies, will turn it over again.
Now that was the biggest test so far of this game for Akira Fitzgerald, and a very good job there being able to come out and collect that one, because they had the defense of the Rowdies absolutely caught there, and very fortunate that this one is not tied 1-1.
Well, to complete the thought, as we mentioned, Redding, who had gone from the center back, is now the right back. Donovan Carroll will man the center of the field for Orlando City. PC. Close. Make that Neal. Who gives it to Close. Donovan. PC again. low. And if anything on that turnover there is close, can't come up with it. It's set wide by Schaefer to Georgie Ristoff. Ristoff back to Fernandez, and Schaefer will get it out wide to Bowden. Not a lot of help, a lot of purple shirts behind will force the Rowdies to go back into their own half. They'll maintain possession.
Bowden wanted that one a lot earlier, Mike. He had his hands up. He saw the way that one was going and tried to get into that play on that left-hand side, and no one saw him. By the time he did, it was too late. And another poor giveaway by the Rowdies here.
Yeah, Lowe's pass across the field went to the feet of Deacon. Now a chance here is Redding will be running up the side. Redding into the box, and that one's going to be easily corralled by Fitzgerald, who drops it short for Vingard. Towards the corner for Ristoff. Now goes into the stands. And that was handled pretty well by the fans as the roar of the crowd. Given a round of, I guess, congratulations. There are signs around the stadium here that says watch out for flying balls.
I always get a kick out of that. Like they had wings.
Cut inside. Here is Bowden. Bowden onto the back post. It's at the feet of Nanchoff. He'll cut it back in, but Orlando City recovers, but they'll turn it over. Cole on it.
Him and Ristoff just getting their signals crossed there a little bit, not knowing which one was going to take the ball.
Vingard wide to Bowden. Leo Fernandez seems to have shifted inside a little bit, but don't know if that was a product of the play or a product of maybe a formation change for the Rowdies. It's at his feet now. He'll turn. Fernandez. He's got help wide. It's Bowden. Luke Bowden. Curled in. Off. That's a great ball, but it's cleared away by Orlando City. Vingard will win it. Out to Schaefer. Back to Bowden. Bowden looking to send it in the box again, and that one will deflect and be a throw in for the Rowdies. Let's check in with Heather Donnelly real quick on the sideline on Marcel Schaefer.
Mike, yeah, a fun fact for you about Rowdies midfielder Marcel Schaefer. He's a self-described American sports freak. He's only been here in the States for a week. He came over from Germany last weekend to join the Rowdies, but he's already taking in some American sports here in the Tampa Bay area. He went with midfielder Joe Cole to the Tampa Bay Lightning hockey game earlier this week and was their social captain for the Bolts. So he's already enjoying everything that the Tampa Bay area has to offer in terms of sports, guys.
Thank you, Heather. And it is Michael Nanchoff running across for the U.S. Ameribank corner kick. As that ball up in the air, Ted Unkel said it went out over the line. And now it's free and a teed up shot by Bowden. Deflected off of Larea. Joe Cole runs out to get it. Back into the box. There's Collins, who's up strong, but can't get over the top of the ball, and it will go over the crossbar.
Well, you just have that feeling, Mike, until the Rowdies can nick another goal here, that Orlando City B is always in this one. Their fans have not given up. They're still going crazy at the midfield on the one side of our side of the pitch where we're calling this one, and they know it's a matter of a couple of seconds. One mistake could give away a turnover, and they could be back in this one. So their fans are still cheering them on greatly, and another one for the Rowdies here would really relieve the pressure and possibly put a dagger into the hearts of Orlando City B. But it's plays like that is giving them an opportunity. Orlando City B wanting to take that one quickly, but Ted Unkel saying, no, we're going to reset here.
Well, De Silva was taken down by King, and Orlando City is set to make a second substitution. Looks like Larea is coming off. Larea off, and it will be Albert Dequa who is on. So Dequa in, but it appeared that Ted Unkel said maybe it wasn't the actual tackle, but it was before that King may have grabbed him, but the Rowdies did disagree with that call. Dequa early on gets a touch, but it's now wide for Reading. Sent towards the corner. Cox onto his foot. It will deflect off the Rowdies. It'll be a corner kick for Orlando City.
Well, during training on Friday, this is something that the Rowdies specifically worked on, defending corner kicks.
Deacon plays it short. Back into the box. Still run down. It will be run down by Georgia Ristov.
Ristov has some space. Decides to play it back instead.
Nanchoff, help with Schaefer. Wide to the feet of Fernandez. Leo Fernandez cuts inside. And the tackle, and Bowden not happy with the tackle. Thought maybe cleats up, but it will be a throw in for the Rowdies. It was quite a move by Fernandez to help earn the penalty kick. Georgie Ristov is the difference right now, converting it in the 58th minute.
Yeah, not just the move on the keeper, Mike, but the move to break through the two defenders of Orlando City B and still have the ball with them.
Rowdies looking for some sort of call there, but not given. And here's Dequa. Dequa up for Cox. Collins will use his goalkeeper Fitzgerald. A lot of pressure. Fitzgerald's got to get rid of it. Just does, as Michael Cox didn't stop his run. King is taken down by De Silva. King letting him know he didn't appreciate it. Vingard looking wide. That ball is going to get intercepted by Reading. Up towards Dequa, and Collins. Let's get him in the would be behind the play as Close was taken down at midfield. And when Collins got to the ball first, Ted Uncle deemed it to be no advantage. Short for PC. Orlando City with possession. Fernandez will dispossess him. It'll be a throw in for Orlando City. City cutting inside, looking to equalize this one, trailing by 1, 75th minute. Here's Cole.
Great job there. Rowdies just playing that high line and allowing the defenders of Orlando City B to pass the ball around. And that's just a poor pass, unfortunate there for the Rowdies. But great job in the secondary defense just to push up right behind on that pass, and they did try to get inside and turn that ball over.
Sent wide, Reading. He cannot connect with Dequa, and now it's back to Luke Bowden. Bowden running down the sideline, being chased by Dequa. Cole, possession kept by the Rowdies. Nanchoff standing all the way across. Let's see if they want to try and do that. It's a long ball to send there. They'll go the short way through Lowe. Up to Vingard, Nanchoff. PC ran with him. Nanchoff, his play on here is De Silva with possession. Donovan now back to Neal. Neal looking over the top. Fitzgerald gets it on the short hop.
And that's the one thing that they're going to be trying is that long ball now over the top. The Rowdies doing a great job of clogging things in the middle.
Dropped in. Joe Cole has a chance. He's into the area. Sent back on the back post. Over the top. That looked like he was pulling it back, but he may have been going on net. It was a great save by Edwards.
Yeah, that was a very deceptive ball. Watch this one by Joe Cole. He looked like he was going to cross it, but then he did put it towards goal. And you see his face there. Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing.
He
Mike.
wasn't even looking. What a deke, and that makes the Edwards save even that much better. It's a U.S. Ameribank corner kick on the great save by Edwards. Cole fooled me, and up here it looked like he was looking back post, but he was going on net the whole time. Headed away by De Silva. Schaefer will run on to it. On offside is Nanchoff. Didn't get back.
Well, that's that sort of veteran presence that Joe Cole brings, Mike.
For viewers in Tampa Bay, you're watching Rowdy Soccer on this TV Tampa Bay. After the action on the field, check out all the movie action on Tampa Bay's first broadcast movie channel. April features Clint Eastwood and Kurt Russell in a couple of action-packed movie marathons. It'll be foolish to miss it. This TV Tampa Bay. Log on to MOR-TV.com. Finish that thought, Lee. You were talking about Joe Cole.
Well, you know, he used to have a lot of pace, played a lot as a forward at times, an attacking midfielder, and some people may have said he's lost a step or two. But what he hasn't lost, Mike, is mind and just that ability. He doesn't have to have a lot of speed there. It's what he was going to do with that ball, and you put it at his feet, and he's still great on set pieces, as we saw, just missing in the first half and just floating a ball in there. It was the look that he made to his left purse that I think that caught me as well, and Earl Edwards, that wasn't good at goal towards goal. Caught him off his line, and he had to dive back just to tip that one up and over the bar.
As Cole again has it. Schaefer, he's going to swing it wide for King. To finish that thought, I mean, the look away would almost tip Edwards to maybe cheat off his line. And that's what Joe Cole was thinking, so maybe that much more impressed. I know I said it a couple times, but no inclination that Cole was going to go on goal, at least that we saw. Maybe Edwards saw something, but for him to be able to recover was outstanding. Here's Cole now turning. Inside, Cole may have been taken down behind the play. He was. Referee tried to give advantage, but Georgi Hristov not able to get it. Cole is hurt. Pounding the ground. See Cole on the turn. He got the foot stepped on, didn't he? That was close. And not by anything, it was Paul Close. Came in. Maybe he didn't get set on, but at least got twisted in. And
yeah, very fortunate, too, that there's not a card on that play. And that's probably what Joe Cole's looking up at right now, saying, are you kidding me? Because there wasn't even any intent to get the ball. And he came down hard on that left foot, left shin, or sorry, right side shin of Joe Cole. And that's not great when it's his dominant leg as far as kicking the ball, but Joe Cole's trying to walk this one off. He's over top of it, but I'd be surprised if he took this one.
Here's Nanchoff towards the back post. He's looking for Lowe. Damian Lowe collides heads. There's two players down, and both of them, it's Close who's down with Damian Lowe. Lowe is
signaling he needs a lot of help, and Close hasn't taken his hands off his head yet. Both of them must have been a heck of a collision. You can see Close holding the top of his head and Lowe in a lot of discomfort.
Lowe was involved earlier with PC earlier in the first half. Watch these two players go up, and right there they just crack heads.
Lowe got up, and then Close right now on his knees. Lowe is still getting treatment. You can see him hanging on to his head.
Close.
Orlando looks to make their last sub, although Close was the one down. It will be Deacon, Danny Deacon, who will be coming off. And Austin Martz will be coming on. Rowdies have yet to make a sub tonight.
Close back up now. It was Lowe that took the worst of that one because it was the front of the head. He got a little bit more protection in the back of the head there, Mike, where he took it. So,
well, Lowe is able to run off the field. He was down for a while. Close also able to walk off. Of course, I think he could have run had he needed to. He was ahead of Lowe into that situation. As you see, Martz on for Danny Deacon. So Orlando City out of substitutes for the evening. They've used all 3 of theirs. And both players wave back onto the field. Edwards playing short through the middle. Dangerous, but it ended up working out pretty well. A little bit of space now. PC. Lowe involved. Collision now. This ball up high. Sent out for Zach Carroll. Lowe. He and De Silva, and we'll go off of De Silva and be a Tampa Bay throw-in. Lang Stadium been a pretty electric night here. The home team with a 1-0 lead here as we hit the 84th minute. We have had a couple of injuries, so should be interesting to see that. It is at Lang Stadium here in downtown St. Petersburg.
Wow, it's a great advertisement and promotion for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Mike, who of course are one of the teams and cities looking to get Major League Soccer. And if you could imagine this stadium renovated and the I-4 Derby, how big that would be between Orlando City and the Rowdies. And that's the type of thing that you do want to build. It's not about the competition and being afraid that one city's too close to each other and you're going to be stealing off territorial rights and all that. This is what it's about. It's about the fans and how huge it is to be able to say we're getting on buses, whether you're going to St. Petersburg or whether you're going to Orlando, and say this is what makes a sport. It's the fans, it's the rivalries, and this would just be, I think, a perfect spot in a few years to be able to bring Major League Soccer to the St. Pete, Tampa Bay area. They had it originally back in the day under the old mutiny, but that was a different time, as they call it, MLS 1.0, a completely different scenario here in this city today.
Yeah, and with the mutiny, they lost because they didn't have local ownership. And the ownership group here, Bill Edwards, with the hashtag MLS2 St. Pete, certainly outstanding ownership group involved in the community, and that's a big plus. In the stadium in itself, its own stadium, and with the expansion plans, very attractive bid for Major League Soccer.
And in the meantime, they find themselves in the United Soccer League. I think that's a great move for the club as well, with the East and West divisions and getting bumped up to Div 2 and the better rivalries, and with Toronto FC to New York Red Bulls to Orlando City to just the working relationship that this league has with Major League Soccer is certainly, I think, the progressive league here for Division II in North America.
Now chances. Cole goes in on the tackle. He's
great tackle.
And Cole has it. Into Ristov. Georgi Ristov into the box. Looking for help. It go on net, and it's just wide. Goal kick for Orlando City. Cole taking a knee, saying he needs a sub. He needs attention or something.
There you see Georgi Hristov going for goal, the back post. Joe Cole just entering the screen. I'm not sure if he was ever open enough to be able to get across if Hristov decided to go across the face of the goal. But yeah, this injury might be a little bit too much now for Joe Cole to continue. Again, he's looking at his right ankle in the foul earlier in this game, and he's going to, looks like he's going to be substituted out as the wristband, his armband's coming off.
Looks like Justin Chavez, and that will probably play in a little bit to that 1-0 lead. Earlier, obviously at the 60th minute, we didn't think they'd change the game much, although we have seen Orlando City with a little more possession. But here with just 3 minutes plus any stoppage time, Chavez, who's been a great holding back, will definitely be a defensive addition here to this team here in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, Chavez is such a versatile player, Mike.
Let me check in with Heather Donnelly as Joe Cole walks off the field. Heather?
You got me, Mike? You guys got me up there?
And now,
all right,
the Rowdies back with it.
There, we got Mike back now. But Joe Cole stayed on the pitch, Mike, and he seems to be still in it. I don't know if this substitution is going to happen right now.
Collins has to send it long. It did happen. Chavez, well, no, didn't Chavez come on? Or maybe he came on for someone else. So a little confusion up here, but certainly.
Joe Cole, it seemed that he got injured and ran right back onto the pitch, and I don't see Justin Chavez out on the pitch right now, Mike, so I think that Joe Cole's still out there and said he could continue.
Well, it'll be a corner kick for Orlando City. They got the ball played in, and the Rowdies had to head it over the bar. And it will be Austin Martz on the corner, as I see Chavez making his way to the bench, but right now all eyes focus on the corner kick. Martz is out there, De Silva's with them, 2 Rowdies out there as well. Martz will send it in to the near post. It's free, and the Rowdies will come away with a loose ball. They get a counterattack opportunity. Cole is streaking. He's got all kinds of space. It's a foot race. Joe Cole into the area, one-on-one. Plays it in, and Edwards comes up with a huge save. Edwards has kept his team in this one tonight.
What a play from Joe Cole. Talk about giving it your everything in this game. And now the board does go up for Joe Cole, but wouldn't that have been fantastic for the fans here to have him score a goal on his way out? But the substitution for Justin Chavez will be made now, but a fantastic opportunity on the run there.
And let's check in with Heather Donnelly on the sideline.
Hi, Mike. As Justin Chavez comes into the game here, they call him Mr. Versatility. He's just such a versatile player. He can play in the midfield. He can play on the back line. And it's great for the Rowdies to have a player that can be so flexible and jump into the game wherever it's needed. I've never seen him play striker, and I've never seen him play keeper, but who knows? Maybe he can do that as well.
And to be that point, Heather, I don't want to see him play keeper, but I would take my chance with him up top. It's Georgi Hristov be wearing the armband here, and Justin Chavez makes his way on for Cole.
4 minutes being put up on the board now, Mike, and what a great standing ovation from Joe Cole. That's the way you want to go off. You didn't want to come off injured.
And Michael Nanchoff will earn a corner kick as De Silva pokes it out. So it'll be a U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Rowdies. And Nanchoff getting, shall we say, encouragement by the linesman to come over and take this. Collins still makes his way up. Actually, I take that back. Bowden does. It's Collins and Lowe who would normally come up for the U.S. Ameribank corner kick, but they're staying back at midfield, and obviously with a 1-0 lead. Far post, it's over the head of Chavez. It's headed away by Redding. Chavez, though, able to run it down. Justin looks in for Bowden. It's going to go back to Collins. He's under pressure. He's just going to send it up the field. It's a dangerous ball, and now Vingard. Come in. We have a whistle, so behind the play. Did the ball roll over the line at some point?
I'm not sure what Ted Uncle's calling there because the ball was in the air the whole time, I thought, Mike.
Yeah, and that was a severe curve. See, maybe off. Well, I don't know why. Maybe after the play, perhaps. Dequa came in on Collins after the play. Offside will be Fernandez. The flag goes up on the far side.
Well, 2 more minutes in this one to go, and the Rowdies supporters group, Ralph's Mob, getting behind their team right now to try to help the Rowdies through this final 2 minutes. Is Anthony Poulos is quick to pick that ball up to give it back to their side to try to get this into play. Orlando City going to be throwing everything forward now to try to earn a point here on the road in this first meeting of the two teams in this 2017 USL campaign.
Well, a race between Nanchoff and PC. It's won by PC, and Edwards will send it up the field. As you mentioned, the 4 minutes of stoppage time, but into the 3rd minute. Rowdies will link a second sub. Georgi Ristov will come off. Alex Morel will come on. Ristov will have to hand over the captain's armband. It'll be the Neil Collins that it looks like. And now Georgi who ran back from midfield to Collins.
Alex Morel, great preseason for the Rowdies, impressed Stuart Campbell and was really in a fighting position, Mike, to start this match tonight. And it was that versatility of Michael Nanchoff to play that right-hand side in the midfield. But Morel is a speedy player. His size is deceiving, that is for sure, because he will run for miles out there.
Darnell King is tied up with Michael Cox, or was that Dequa? Dequa is whistled for the foul, and he's letting Ted Uncle hear it. I'm sure he's going to receive a card. He does, and that's actually Michael Cox that receives the card. It was a wrestling match in the corner, and Cox is whistled for the foul. Well, that ball was played into Daly. He says he didn't mean to, Dequa, but
yeah,
he was taking advantage of the opportunity.
They shook hands there. He was just trying to get the ball out in a hurry. He knows at times running down in this game, as we have played the 4 minutes, but because of this stuff, it might be upwards of another minute or two added on here in the second.
Fitzgerald will send it up, looking for Vingard. Chavez will have it at his feet. Orlando City will come away with the ball. Chavez off of him, be a throw in. And that will be the final whistle. And the Tampa Bay Rowdies, on a penalty kick goal by Georgi Ristov, will win this one tonight 1-0. And let's, as you see, a good look at Joe Cole. Right now, Stuart Campbell's with Heather Donnelly.
You got me, guys? All right, Coach, a big win for you here in your home opener. How does it feel to pick up 3 points to start off the season?
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, and I thought it was 3 points thoroughly deserved. I thought first half especially we were really good, really good. We had a couple of opportunities. The keeper made some good saves, and then second half we obviously, I think we got the goal that we deserved, and then we withstood a little bit of pressure. Orlando put us under without really giving up any chances. I can't really remember our goalie making very many saves. So yeah, really happy with the performance, but the most important thing we spoke about today was ending the game with 3 points, and it's really nice to beat Orlando.
The atmosphere here was incredible tonight. How much do you think that helped your team pull out this win?
Oh, it's absolutely vital, especially in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes. You can see some of the players are getting tired. Like I said, I've had some great nights this stadium with these supporters, but the atmosphere they generated tonight was absolutely outstanding. I thought every single one of them were brilliant.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
Well, Lee, it was all right. Oh, right now it appears that Heather Donnelly is standing by with Anthony Poulos.
Coach, you dropped this one here to start your season. What do you take away from tonight's match?
Lots of positives. I thought the reaction from the players to going a goal down was fantastic. Although actually after the goal, we had some real decent passages of play and we controlled the game for certain portions of the game. We've got lots to work on, but we knew that anyway. We're virtually a new team, really young guys. But no, listen, we've got beaten by a really good Rowdies team tonight.
Yeah, you say you've got lots to work on. What specifically stands out to you as something to work on moving forward into your season?
Everything. I think our defensive shape, our decisions in possession need to be better. But look, I knew that it was always going to be a work in progress. This is a process. It takes time. But I'm pleased with a lot of stuff tonight.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. And it is a 1-0 victory. There's the goal scorer, Georgie Ristoff. We got the post game coming up in a little while. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango, and Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxiClean.
Stains on t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxiClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxiClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxiClean in a detergent. One cap beats 4 of theirs. OxiClean gets the tough stains out.
The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
Well, there you see the next week, right here at Al Lang Stadium, the Rowdies will have the second game of the season, and we'll be there on This TV Tampa Bay. It'll be the Rowdies and Toronto FC. Of course, Digital 32.2, Spectrum 1012, Frontier 612, and Comcast 437, or actually 630 on Spectrum. But certainly those are the things. But the Rowdies are come away with a 1-0 victory tonight. The post-game show coming up next. Well, it is the
post-game show here at Al Lang Stadium. Mike Pepper and Lee Godfrey. And Lee, it was really a dominant performance. You did see the Rowdies get the goal. It was a penalty kick. But certainly when we see that, it was probably the right result. You would think maybe even another goal or two should have gone in for the Rowdies.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was a great way just to kick off their first game in Major League Soccer. The atmosphere was absolutely electric here at Al Lang Stadium with the fans of the Rowdies and the supporters groups coming from Orlando City to make the trip here. It's everything that you want to see in a soccer game. And you're right. It was a tense start to this game. Both teams going back and forth. It was pretty sloppy, to be honest with you, until things settled in. And once they did settle in, you did see that talent that the Rowdies have brought in. They really took control of the game, created many opportunities. Unlucky not to get to anything in that first half, but in the second, it did come through. As we take a look at those first half highlights, or the whole game highlights now, as we said, they continue that into the second half. But the first, they really did start pushing. Schaefer with his first big opportunity as a member of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and a good save here by Edwards. He is completely outstretched there to his left to make a nice save on the German playing his first game in the green and gold. And more kept coming on here. Leo Fernandez is upended there. It was very close to being inside the box, but Joe Cole takes that free kick just outside the 18 and curls it just to the back post. And you can see he's upset that it just didn't come back quite enough. Georgi Ristov making one little move here, and he's just getting a little bit too under the ball and skyrockets it over the crossbar. Got to get your head down there and drive into the ball, as there was lots of space there, but he gets that one back after Leo Fernandez does a great job to have the keeper Edwards take him down. No mistake there, as Georgi Ristov goes right down the middle for his first goal of the 2017 campaign. But good opportunity here from Orlando City, a good reaction. And it is Akira Fitzgerald that has to come out and does a good job here, as he's able to come up and corral that one. And then late in the game, how about this? Just before Joe Cole comes off in a foot race. Yeah, he does still have, oh, this is no, that's a little bit later on. This is the little fake play that he made. And Edwards has to jump up there and get onto that one. You see the little look that he had over, and I think that's what Edwards was looking at too, and you see a little smile on Joe Cole's face here. But here's the one where he's sent in all along on the counter attack and just maybe running out of gas. You can probably hear the footsteps, and Edwards comes out and does a good job of getting big there and just getting a leg on it to keep this one a 1-0 score.
And sometimes you see those 1-0 scores, but you see the shots 21-3. 5 of those on goal, but it was some outstanding saves by Earl Edwards that kept this one just a 1-0.
Yeah, it could have been a lot more in this one, and I think that's what Stuart Campbell is going to take out of this one, Mike.
Well, the Rowdies do get the 1-0 victory here at Al Lang Stadium to open up the 2017 USL season. Right now, Fitzgerald, the rest of the players, giving the fans what they want. We'll come back with more post-game. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdy Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
Some people are blessed. Compassion and empathy are second nature. Being selfless increases their self-worth. They consider caring for others a calling, not a sacrifice. And we consider them our role models. Because if humanity can make the world a better place, imagine what it can do for healthcare.
The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
The fight for the championship continues April 1st at 7:30. Get rowdy at Al Lang with 90 minutes of manic excitement as the Rowdies take on Toronto FC2. Toronto, bring your A game, because you're going to need it. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. Tickets start at just $11, and you can meet the players after every game. Toronto, bring your A game, because the Rowdies are going to kick your Come on, you Rowdies!
Where the Tampa Bay Rowdies have knocked off Orlando City B, OCB 1-0 here on a Georgie Ristoff goal. And right now, Heather Donnelly standing by with the goal scorer tonight. Heather and Georgie.
Thank you, Mike. Georgie, you scored the big game winner tonight. What was going through your mind before you took that PK?
Well, honestly, I was a bit nervous. I had one or two very good chances before that. I couldn't score. I wish I could score. Maybe I should have scored 2 goals today at least, but I'm still happy we won the game. I want to thank the whole team for, that's what we actually talked about before the game, keep believing in each other. I had a couple of chances. They were like, they kept telling me, Georgie, keep your head up and and everything. So everything went, at the end everything is great. It's all that matters. So yeah, it was a very good win. First win, it's always good. I mean, we still need a little bit of time to get more rhythm and all that, but everything will come.
Sellout crowd here tonight. The supporters were behind you the entire 90 minutes. What was the atmosphere like for you?
It was unbelievable. It was especially when I scored the goal. It was so loud, so loud. We couldn't even, we were talking with each other. I couldn't hear myself talking, but it was unbelievable, the atmosphere and everything. I really hope we're gonna keep doing that, and we have the best fans. So I really hope that they're gonna stay behind us, because we really need it, because we're trying to do something big for Tampa Bay. So we need them a lot.
Great. Thanks, Georgie. Nice job tonight, guys.
Yeah, Heather. Thank you. And Lee, I mean, so you did score the penalty kick goal, but at strikers, you scored the one. That's all that matters, but he's going to look at some of these chances.
Yeah, he does. And you can kind of hear that little bit of frustration with himself for not scoring. He thinks that he probably should have had 2 before the penalty kick. And that one there was a clear-cut one that he was probably upset with. And that's the early frustrations, but he finishes the job on the penalty kick, and that's all you can ask. We've seen so many in the past where the Rowdies have been stymied on the penalty kicks, and that's the type of frustration that set it in last year. But this time you get that goal, and that's what you need. And yeah, it's early in the season, and he talked about getting used to playing with the players that are new around him, and it's going to come for sure.
Yeah, and Edwards, we didn't see one, made an outstanding stop on Georgie in the first half too, but it is the 1 goal, and the Rowdies do get the 1-0 win. We'll come back. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure, because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxiClean.
Stains on t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxiClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxiClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxiClean in a detergent. One cap beats 4 of theirs. OxiClean gets the tough stains out.
Well, welcome back to Al Lang Stadium, where the Rowdies have knocked off Orlando City. The B squad here for USL, and one of those members of Orlando City for so long is a new Tampa Bay Rowdy. That's in the form of Luke Bowden, and Luke is standing by, I believe, with Heather right now.
Thank you, Mike. Luke, this was your first official game here in the green and gold. What was it like out there for you tonight?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, pre-season we worked on a lot. And I think finally today, a lot of things came together in the game, and it was great to keep a clean sheet, and great to win the game. And yeah, we really enjoyed it. But that game's gone now, and now we need to move on to the next one.
Orlando City, obviously your former club. Did you feel a little extra out there? Was there a bit of a rivalry going on the field?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've got a few friends that are still playing out there, and although we're friends, you want to win, you want to beat each other, and a little bit of friendly banter and things like that. But at the end of the day, we're here to get 3 points, and thankfully that's what we've done tonight.
Thanks, Luke. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Heather and Lee. I mean, as she pointed out, the ex-teammates, and it's got to be a little extra special when you get that ex-team in your first game against you.
Yeah, and you see a lot of that, don't you, in Florida? We've seen players in PC as well, coming from Fort Lauderdale to the Rowdies and now in Orlando City B, players coming in and out and around. So it's always going to be neat to see that happen. And players do thrive off that, and they build off of it. But when it gets to playing a game, they forget all about that. And then it's just about playing on the field and playing for your new team and your own team and going out and winning. So Luke Bowden, obviously happy about that win tonight.
Well, Heather Donnelly has been working hard, and right now, for at least you and I, Lee, we have another surprise guest this time. Heather?
Mike, I'm here with midfielder Leo Fernandez. We just spoke with Luke Bowden. It was his first official game in the green and gold. It was yours as well. What was it like for you tonight?
It was amazing. The fans were great. It was a crazy atmosphere. I was so happy to get the 3 points, and now we're looking forward to next week already.
What positives do you take away, besides the win, obviously, but what good things did you notice out on the field tonight?
Definitely the shutout. If we don't give up a goal, we always have a chance to win. So, and especially first half and second half, we created so many opportunities. We were unlucky just to score one today, but I know it's a long season, and I know that we can score a lot of goals this season.
All right, thanks, Leo. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. And, it was Leo's move that earned the penalty kick. And as you pointed out, not just being taken down by Edwards, but certainly splitting 3 defenders with just a couple of touches. That was a great, great play.
It was a great play, and that shows the type of player that he is and why he's earned a starting position on this club. But he did mention the fact, too, in that first half, all the opportunities that they generated, and they were unlucky not to score more than 1 goal. And because that was all of the work of Edwards, he really did do a great job in goal for Orlando City B in this one, making save and save and save. I'm not sure if it did actually have the stats proper, because it seemed like he made more than the 5 on goal in that game. I think
Edwards' only mistake was taking down Fernandez, but that was basically had no choice. Fernandez had kind of gone around him. Probably lucky not to the yellow card, but man, it could have been a lot worse. And I think that we'll get a chance to maybe see some of Edwards' work here from earlier in the night.
Yeah, Kira Fitzgerald.
He got the shutout.
Yeah, he did get it. He didn't have to do a heck of a lot of work in my mind, Mike. He's come out here and he punched that one out. He probably didn't know he had that much time. Sometimes that's a little bit dangerous. He did feel the feet of Orlando City B players. I mean, this was probably their best opportunity, splitting the defense, but just not being able to get it to that front forward on Orlando City B. Kira Fitzgerald seeing the space and coming out and making the grab there, Mike.
Well, the waterfront's a little quieter tonight, but the Rowdies fans going home happy. 1-0 victors. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies soccer on this TV, Tampa Bay.
We got the sun. We got today.
place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg. The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
The fight for the championship continues April 1st at 7:30. Get rowdy at Al Lang with 90 minutes of manic excitement as the Rowdies take on Toronto FC2. Toronto, bring your A game because you're going to need it. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. Tickets start at just $11 and you can meet the players after every game. Toronto, bring your A game because the Rowdies are going to kick your Come on, you Rowdies!
Lang Stadium, Mike Pepper, Lee Godfrey, Heather Donnelly working hard down on the sideline, and you get the goal scorer, Lee, but certainly when the Rowdies, and we kind of tease this a little bit, you get a 1-0 victory, and sometimes you wonder, it could well have been a lot worse, but all the important part is you get the win.
Yeah, it could have been more, but let's face it, a win is a win is a win, and that's exactly what the Tampa Bay Rowdies wanted because of the amount of home games they have in the first year in the United Soccer League and the home packaged games. You have to be able to take those away with you and earn the 3 points. Hope for a point on the road, but a good start for the Rowdies, certainly here in their opening game against a massive rival in Orlando. It had everything that you wanted to see in a soccer game tonight.
No doubt the Rowdies were able to create chances. They just have to finish them better, and that's something that's kind of carried over a little bit from last year. You can't say it after one game, but that's what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and you're right, but you have 5 new players in the lineup that weren't even with the team last year, so you're right. That is going to come as these players play more and more with each other, and you did see the creativity and how they did move the ball forward and defending well too. They didn't give Orlando very much coming forward. That defensive secondary was really good.
All right, as you mentioned, in that first 6 weeks of the season, Rowdies played 7 games, 5 at home, including next week when they play Toronto FC 2. And that you'll be able to see right here on this TV. It's Digital TV 32.2, Spectrum 630, Frontier 463, and Comcast 229. And our pregame starts at 7 o'clock, and the Rowdies will look to go to 2-0. But in the meantime, for Heather Donnelly, Lee Godfrey, I'm Mike Pepper. Enjoy the match in 4 minutes.
that vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
Some people are blessed. Compassion and empathy are second nature. Being selfless increases their self-worth. They consider caring for others a calling, not a sacrifice. And we consider them our role models. Because if humanity can make the world a better place, imagine what it can do for healthcare.
The fight for the championship continues April 1st at 7:30. Get rowdy at Al Lang with 90 minutes of manic excitement as the Rowdies take on Toronto FC2. Toronto, bring your A game, because you're going to need it. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. Tickets start at just $11, and you can meet the players after every game. Toronto, bring your A game, because the Rowdies are going to kick your... Come on, you Rowdies!
the box. Here's Ristoff. Georgie Ristoff, shot, goal! And the Rowdies have taken the 1-0 lead, and they've opened the door.
Well, the build-up, Mike, from the Rowdies was coming. We saw it in the first half.
And Fernandez, what a move to get into the box. Here's Ristoff. Georgie Ristoff, shot, goal! And the Rowdies have taken the 1-0 lead, and they've opened the door.
Well, the build-up, Mike, from the Rowdies was coming. We saw it in the first half. And it's that hard work and determination to earn that penalty kick. And there you see Georgie Ristoff, a little bit cheeky there, Mike, going pretty much.
Georgie Ristoff, shot, goal! And the Rowdies have taken the 1-0 lead, and they've opened the door. And welcome into Al Lang Stadium, Tampa Bay Rowdies and Orlando City B. Let's get a good look at the coaches. Smoke bomb. See a lot of purple down on the other side. The Rowdies, Ralph's Mob, certainly making their voices heard. And Lee, I think we get a chance. We're going to see the Rowdies go from right to left on your screen to start tonight.
Well, I wouldn't want to have it any other way, wouldn't
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay.
Yep, excited to be here.
And, of course, as I mentioned, just down I-4 and with your MLS team having an off night, you're going to get a chance to have a great supporter crowd. And Orlando City, known for their supporters, you've got to be excited about what they may help to bring your team here on this season opener.
Of course, it's fantastic.
It's a new league, and there are 11 new players. Those are just a few of the changes that took place this offseason.
Yeah, there was. You take a look at this. We moved from the North American.
Some great young guys that just want to learn. And I think, like I said before, I think we're ready, and we're definitely ready to show the fans that we're going to have a great season.
Yeah, I heard a lot about it.
From a hamstring, as right now Fernandez will pull it back, and on the near post run it will go off of, it's like Georgie Ristoff, and it will be a goal kick.
Best opportunity
from a hamstring, as right now Fernandez will pull it back, and on the near post run it will go off of, it's like Georgie Ristoff, and it will be a goal kick.
Best opportunity for the game by the Tampa
fans for this sold-out crowd. So even though this is a new rivalry for most of the players on the field, they do understand the importance of this game to the fan bases, guys.
Thanks, Heather, as we get a look at Anthony Poulos. Ant Fernandez, Leo Fernandez steps over. And onto the left foot, Marcel Schaefer, save ball there, cleared out by Orlando City. Great opportunity for the Rowdies. They still have Fernandez.
Marcel Schaefer, he's a self-described American sports freak. He's only been here in the States for a week. He came over from Germany last weekend to join the Rowdies, but he's already taking in some American sports.
Ball loose in the area. Down at the feet. They're going to drop it back. And that ball teed up by Vingard, and it's blocked by Orlando City. Loose ball out to the Rowdies. Boat in for Schaefer. Schaefer looking far post. Teed up by Cole, and he misses on the volley. Orlando City brings it out the back now. Over the top, and Lowe wins the header. At his goal box.
Oh, good play there by Neil Collins, that's where it all started on the pickoff, but then I think it surprised a lot of Rowdies players because he was almost the furthest man on the pitch.
Well, turned over again here. Schaefer is pushed down from behind, and it's still play on. No, it'll be a free kick, maybe on the second, his goal box.
Oh, good play there by Neil Collins. That's where it all started on the pickoff, but then I think it surprised a lot of Rowdies players because he was almost the furthest man on the pitch.
Well, turned over again here. Schaefer is pushed down from behind, and it's still play on. No, it'll be a free kick, maybe on the second, at his goal box.
Oh, good play there by Neil Collins. That's where it all started on the pickoff, but then I think it surprised a lot of Rowdies players because he was almost the furthest man on the pitch.
Well, turned over again here. Schaefer is pushed down from behind, and it's still play on. No, it'll be a free kick, maybe on the second.
Joe Cole's had some great strikes from just outside the box last season. We've seen him before.
And it is Cole going far post and just misses as it didn't curl enough.
Well, he had the wall beat, he had the keeper beat, and it just... Joe Cole's had some great strikes from just outside the box last season. We've seen him before.
And it is Cole going far post and just misses as it didn't curl enough.
Well, he had the wall beat, he had the keeper beat, and it just... Joe Cole's had some great strikes from just outside the box last season. We've seen him before.
And it is Cole going far post and just misses as it didn't curl enough.
Well, he had the wall beat, he had the keeper beat, and it just... Joe Cole's had some great strikes from just outside the box last season. We've seen him before.
And it is Cole going far post and just misses as it didn't curl enough.
Well, he had the wall beat, he had the keeper beat, and it just... Joe Cole's had some great strikes from just outside the box last season. We've seen him before.
And it is Cole going far post and just misses as it didn't curl enough.
Well, he had the wall beat, he had the keeper beat, and it just...
For Michael Cox. Tackled